in the last session, you guys met the Tempest Horde, a guild with strange technology supposedly granted from a relationship with the Order of the Ashen Blade. After a quick capture of your primary objective in Cassia, perhaps making up for the 8 sessions it took you to poison Franchester, you decided it was a good idea to pop out invisibility and kill 20 people with some fireballs and steal the Stormglass. The two of you barely escaped the compound with your lives, trying to find, some place to hide, but now in possession of some Stormglass. You heard some strange noises as you were looking for a place to wait out the storm, and are currently being searched for by the Horde, who is not happy with you, to say the least. You are currently camped out in the old wine cellar beneath an abandoned house in your tiny hut.
Can we long rest?
You can try.
That's the point.
I want to add, it's not we who fireballed and murdered. That was completely Jadir.
Yeah, but you were implicit.
I ran away. That was literally, I just yoinked and ran. I was in no way connected to the murder other than I took their shit.
I'm not like him. I just stole everything and ran away while he killed them and burned them alive.
I'm a thief, I'll have you know.
Yeah, at least give me some pride. I'm a thief, not a murderer.
and an arsonist.
Yeah.
No, that's you.
To be fair, Jadir is definitely the more evil of the two of you.
Thank you.
I'm a hero
You're
of
just
my
kind of
own
like
story.
his NPC follower who is implicit in the evil doings.
Who tries to be like, hey, let's not do that. Meanwhile, Jadir,
I don't think you've ever said, let's not do that. You've always been like, I agree.
No,
this is the correct course of action.
No, this has always been like, okay, if we're gonna do that, let's try to do that without causing too much trouble and stuff like that.
You don't have enough
sets out a bar fight in the city
me.
that leads to entire town in chaos.
Hey, that was not me, that was a mask.
Yes. Anyway, you guys are currently set up in your tiny hut in the wine cellar.
Oh, let's rest.
Alright.
Alright. You are all asleep, going to bed. I hope nothing horrible happens.
Well, it can't happen while the tiny hut is up.
So, you've been asleep for all of 30 minutes, right? Okay. So, just entering that sweet, sweet state of restfulness as the depth of your comfortable rest begins to pull you in. When suddenly you are violently shaken awake to Franchester. Guys! I need your help assembling my devices. This is critical to our new base of operation.
Franchester.
Ahoy!
I have a lot of magical energy. Ahoy indeed. I can't do anything to help you, and we're being hunted down by dangerous people. I need my rest.
But... Alright, fine, I'll try and set these up by myself. What about you, Gerald? Are you a piece of shit like this guy over here?
No comment. Just.
Oh, you're gonna give me this silence treatment, huh?
Go to sleep.
Fine.
This is not the time. I will help you with.
You can sleep. He walks over, dragging his bag of holding over to out of the tiny hut and into the wine cellar, and begins loudly assembling various machines and devices. You're trying to go back to sleep.
No,
and he keeps
going try to stop
clack,
him, and before he even left the hut. Look, I have lots of storm glass, all right? We have lots of it, okay?
Ooh!
Right. We can't mess with it tonight.
Why not?
Well, because I'm all out of magical juju and people can come and kill us, alright?
You don't need magical juju. This is all on me, pal.
Let me put it this way. The sound that you are making will notify them where we are hiding. Therefore, a lot of big men with dangerous weapons will come to try to murder us all and take all of our stuff.
He looks at you two, sits back down, crossing his arms all cranky.
Look, we'll make a deal with the other Francesca to let him give you a switch so you'll have your fun time during the day. Does that sound good?
Don't you need a better base? We've been scoping it out. We found a lab for you.
What? Really? Does it have equipment in it and stuff?
No. It's a work in progress, alright?
Why don't we set up here? This place has... Okay, all these wine bottles are cracked and empty. Look over there! And he walks over and he grabs a bottle of what looks to be some, like, ancient wine off the shelves. Just brushes the dust off of it. Guys. Pop! He pops the cork off this, what could be well over, like, a 300-year-old bottle of wine. Probably worth in at least 4 figures of gold. Bottoms up! And he starts chugging it.
Jadir will take one of the... Yeah, go ahead.
Fermenting wine, it still does expire eventually, just so you know.
Well, maybe this is special magic wine, okay? Leave me alone.
Just like 300-year-old, tastes kinda...
We'll ferment at some point, alright? Some sooner than others.
Either way, a 300-year-old bottle of wine is worth a lot of money. Whether or not it's drinkable.
Fair. Collectors do love that kind of stuff.
Jadir takes one of the bottles of wine, just smashes it.
Hey!
The bottom. Well, it's an empty thing.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Do it more. He grabs another empty wine bottle. This is fun. hey. Okay, let's set up like a hoop.
Please stop.
We can play wine ball.
All right.
I feel like this is David having some sort of a revenge against us. I think this is actually revenge directed directly at you.
This is my DM PC. This is my manifestation in game. This is who I am.
What can I do to get you to sit down and do nothing for the night?
He looks just spacing out. Yeah, I'm just gonna drink some wine tonight, you know? You can take some sleep. I promise I won't summon any demons.
Alright, that's good enough.
And if I do, it'll be for our protection.
Just be quiet, alright? Good night.
Good night.
Fuck. This is...
Alright.
Next day, please.
Next
Before
day.
I lose my mind.
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
How is there a chicken?
There's
in
not
this?
a chicken. It's an illusion in your mind. You're slowly going insane out here.
I think the characters went.
I'm just kidding. That's what Francesca says to wake you guys up in the morning.
Oh my fucking god.
Is it truly the morning?
Yeah, it's so, like, some very faint rays of light are drifting down through the silt in the floorboards above you. And you wake up to the sight of Francesca leaning over your face. It hasn't quite made the switch yet, and he just yells in your face while you're sleeping. Like, his mouth is maybe an inch from your face, and he's like, cock-a-doodle-doo!
You do that again, I will kill you.
Ha-ha! It's morning. Good morning.
Gerald kind of just
Good morning.
grumbled, like, I wish I knew the spell deafened. Ugh.
Maybe if you cast Calm Emotions, you'll feel better.
Francesca,
No, I
how was the
think-
night?
I feel like this-
Really fucking boring.
Well, you're alive.
He's still
which
drunk,
is-
obviously. There's like 2 or 3 empty wine bottles just with still like drops of fluid inside them.
He's just been chugging alcohol the entire night.
He stands up and then falls back down. The other Francester's gonna be so mad when he finds out how many drinks I had.
He wasn't a fan of the pies either.
Those are delicious.
What the fuck?
All right, you hang tight. I want to take a
Here?
look at the storm glass. Yes,
Okay.
here.
He sits anticipating your storm glass.
So the question is, are we going to be staying here for a while, or are we heading immediately back to town? Slightly crisped town that is not under constant lightning storms.
We gotta figure out what's the deal with the storm glass, if it's sufficient.
Yes, I'm simply asking, is it worth casting another tiny hut?
Not for now.
All right. Well, what do we do?
Well, you have the storm glass. You can give it a once-over. See if Francesca approves.
I kind of just take the bag that I have and kind of like, well, have a look.
You hold
Yeah, I
open
kinda
your
wanna-
bag of storm glass crystals.
Mm-hmm.
You look inside, and it's just like it looks like these cuboid crystals of molten, frozen, salty glass, crackling with lightning energy inside of them. They give off an eerie glow from inside the bag that lights up the darkened area beneath the floorboards.
So, would you say that this is the stuff that he needed?
I mean, I've never seen storm glass before. This looks so cool.
Yes. You know, the funny thing is, we could have done this completely safely had we not murdered over 20 people.
You guys murdered over 20 people?
No,
Aw,
I didn't.
you guys, I'm so proud of you.
No, I did not. We almost got away peacefully, but certain someone looks at Jadir pissed.
Jadir! You sly dog.
Are we done now?
This is going to haunt us for a very long time. I hope you're aware, Jadir.
Most things do.
Well, anyways, so we have the storm glass. Do you have the devices and the equipment needed to, well, kind of looks at Jadir, to do the whole operation such?
Yes and no. So, while you guys were asleep last night, Francesca pulls out a small chalkboard, or a medium-sized chalkboard from his bag of holding, and it's completely covered in chicken scratch and doodles. He's like, I've been doing some calculations, right? And I finally cracked it. I've been fucking with this equation all night. It all comes together perfectly, okay? So, we need something called Buterix, right? So, Buterix, okay. The positive Buterix cations are going to be supercharged by the anions in the storm glass, and they're going to come together to form a rain energy compound that will decay after about 30 seconds. But during that formation, we'll get the target energy output of about 275 kiloproxins, but we'll need to time it right in order for it to work.
So, I have one question. This new material that we suddenly need...
I know! I said we would need to make a reaction! Remember?
I do. This material that we need, because for some reason I thought storm glass was the only thing.
Well, then you're fucking dumb, man. I thought the plan.
We were kind of occupied with, I don't know, burning city, trying to get the whole noble thing out of the way, whole rebellion. You know, I had other things on my mind. Anyways, is that material rare? Where is it?
Do you even know where to find some?
Well, it's a chemical that makes its properties ideal for preserving living tissue, and so maybe some kind of living tissue collector would have some?
Quick question to the DM.
Yes.
From my backstory of knowing a bunch of demonologists, do I know someone that would have a weird-ass hobby like that? Because demonologists are generally, like him, really fucking weird. They have weird hobbies.
I would actually say you have met people who have preserved living substances. You would probably know what Buterix is, actually.
Alright. DM thinking how much information he's about to give the bard.
Let's see.
You can describe it very vaguely.
Well, no. It's basically a preservative chemical. You know what it is. I would just say that you probably wouldn't know anyone who you could be like, oh, I know this guy who has some Buterix off in some place many miles away. Let's just go there and grab some.
Yeah. Well, it was worth a shot. At least I know what it is. I wouldn't happen to know any way of how it is formed or made, would I?
Roll a nature check.
Oh boy. This is gonna be a low chance one. Let's see. Where is it? There it is.
Is this substance illegal by any chance?
Yes. Not that I would worry about that around these parts.
Alright, so nature check, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. One of the few times where I'm lucky with something that I'm not good at.
Nice. What's the
19.
roll? 19. You would know that Buterix can be formed in a couple different ways, but the easiest way to obtain Buterix is through a natural excretion from fungus.
Oh no. I know where we can get some, but I'm not happy about it.
Well, what would you be happy about? If we have a need for it, a place to go, then let us be off.
Well, let me put it this way. Remember the one place that we want to avoid going to?
Anywhere with a tall, pale creature?
Well, okay, granted that as well, but remember the whole mushroom disease. You remember that, right?
Yes.
Well, seems like some fungi actually excrete that thing, now that I think about it. I
Just
remember
any.
one of the... Well, I don't know specifically, I just know some of them do. I perhaps have to see it to make sure, but... The problem is, I just remember seeing it from this one demonologist that had a stuffed creature of some sort. He was working around with it.
Well, we know it to be dangerous, right?
Yes, but the sad fact is that means we're going to have to stay longer here while being hunted.
Would probably makes more sense if we had gotten the Buterics first.
Yes, it would have. This is a situation. So we're going to be hunted. We're going to have to be careful of diseases. There's going to be hunters that occupy that area more than other people. And I can promise you that some of them have some connections with our little horde. So no matter how I look at it, there's either two ways. Either we go and finish off the horde, aka finish what we started. And think about it like this, if we kill all of them, there won't be anyone hunting us.
Well, the way I see it, if they're about in the city right now, they're probably moving about in small groups. We'll probably try to retreat and regroup and then ambush us. So, well, if we... Where do we have this fungal stuff anyway? Who controls it?
I have an interesting idea. They're all searching for us because we took something extremely valuable, right?
Well, I also killed quite a few of their men.
Yes, but that means majority of them are going to be here. Well, the outpost... Are you seeing where I'm going with this?
Oh no.
Why would we go back there?
Well, they wouldn't expect it.
I somehow doubt that would be a good idea. If anything, they'll probably have fortified it by now.
Think about it like this. It's either war of attrition, or we try to kill whoever's in charge.
No, the way I see it, when we track down who has access to whatever knowledge about fungal things and go from there.
Look, after what we've done, there's no way we are going to be able to safely go down there without getting noticed.
Go down where?
We're going to have to go down under the castle to find the fungi. Where the disease is, by the way.
Well,
We are in a
my
very...
expiration date is approaching rapidly. For me, it's not such a big deal.
Trust me on this point, then. It will arrive even faster if they know that we're down there. Because, imagine this. We go down there, and so one of the hunters sees us go down there. And they go, well, hey, horde people, you're looking for these couple of fellas. I just saw them go down there. And then
Well, there's probably multiple ways to get in and out.
Are you
And
sure?
who knows? Maybe people who control the catacombs and whatnot, maybe they're not friends with the horde.
Your plan has a lot of ifs. And that
I
is
have
very
no plan.
concerning. Look, we're going to have to deal with the horde whether we want to or not.
Right, well,
So,
it's either we declare all-out war at the moment or something else.
see, from the warring standpoint, we have two options. Taking down the outpost while they're ill-staffed, since a lot of their past workers and guild members have been brutally crisped. Thanks to a certain someone in this room. Or we take the elites, or the bigger guys, out while they're split in a group, meaning that we'd have to, well, hunt them down one by one.
Look, my hope is we can just track someone down who knows more about this fungal stuff, possibly get access to whatever weird chemical we need, and be on our way. We don't even need to worry about that unless it becomes a pressing issue.
Gerald, we need a complex tactical plan and then execute it perfectly. And Jadir's like, speed run.
It is just
Yes.
Gerald,
In
the
and out.
voice of
10 minutes.
reason.
What's the worst thing that
We're
can
gonna
happen?
speed run Cassia.
Gerald, the voice of reason. Jadir, we're just gonna run through.
I'm literally dying as we speak.
So, your expiration date, how long till it reaches?
I don't actually have a shelf date.
Then, my question is...
I'd give him till next week.
You look- Oh, really? Do you think he has that little left?
Yeah.
Can I roll an insight on that?
He's obviously fucking with you guys.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like, look, you're obviously not dying as you're standing right here. And honestly, running down recklessly, catching the same disease as the certain fellow we met in the desert, seems like a very poor idea. Because you're already dying, you don't need another thing killing you.
It must be a slow process. Diseases can be cured.
Remember the situation. Whenever someone is infected with that, they are literally exiled.
But once I have what I need, I don't mind being exiled. Who'd want to be here anyway?
So, let's say whatever's in you is taken out. All right? Fantastic. Now you have the mushroom disease to worry about, and that seems to have a bit of a shorter expiration date than you currently have.
Gerald, is your plan killing everyone in the horde?
No, it is either that we find someone and convince them to our cause to do it without saying a word via either intimidation or something, and they go get it for us. That is one plan. The other plan is, of course, murdering everybody, since you've already started that scene.
I never advocate murder.
You have to say, at this point, there is no helping it. He has killed 20 fucking people. 20 plus, sorry, actually. This is well beyond salvaging. Now it's just a situation of fucking survival that Jadir is like, let me run.
I just
with a
go
crutch.
along with all the evil things Jadir does.
I am
Recommend
trying to save
genocide.
He is trying to save.
Sorry, I should not be interjecting. I just think it's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
At least
well,
he's trying to choose the safe option.
a safe option is to pop into the castle, get what we need, come out.
You make it sound like it's very easy.
No, I simply have no idea what's in store for us, so I don't worry about it.
All right, you have disguised self, right?
Yes.
I have a disguise kit. We're going to have to work around with that.
There are very few people in here.
I know, but it's better than being immediately recognized.
I doubt there's a difference.
Look, would you rather they go, hey, look, that's the person over there that killed 20 people, or, those look suspicious.
Look, I can work with the reputation. It's fine.
This is going to end in such a poor manner.
Look, I'm sure if we run into people at the present moment, it'll be in a small number. We can dispatch them and wage your guerrilla warfare like you plan.
You know what? Screw it. Since you want to run through this, sure, but if we're dying because of this, I'm going to make sure that there's a very special seat in hell for both of us.
If you don't want to do it,
No, it
we'll
is
do it
just
your way.
it is extremely reckless. Just like the
Unlike
plan.
my plan.
Unlike my plan of going back and fireballing the place again.
Actually, my
Oh.
plan was to take over the place, take the horses, and just slowly sabotage everything. Basically, just crippling them to the point where they can't fight.
You guys need to come to a decision.
God, this is like no matter what we do, because yes, I want to avoid the whole murdering thing. But at this point, he is so hated. He is so hated that if they even see him, they will go immediate Amoa Shindru on his goddamn ass.
It's your call. You know where I stand.
I don't know. I still hated you for doing that last time. We're in such a fucked situation.
Yeah.
So, where are we headed? What are we doing?
Fuck it. We're speed running through this. But I'll say this. If we're going through, I require him, and he points at Francesca, or the other one, to help us with one thing. So we're going to, most likely, at the end of this, going to have to leave in a massive hurry. Most likely with people after us.
Better make sure those probably shouldn't have left those horses out.
Yes. I wonder who suggested against that last time.
Now, there's no need to have
He's very
high
petty right
tension.
now.
Maybe you should calm some emotions.
Look, we have been through a lot, and I don't want to die to a goddamn mushroom. Sure, the gunshot is fine, but... But
Look,
yes,
the way I see it, we see if the horses are around. If they're not, well, who knows?
we're going to have to steal some of them. Actually, they did
Do
have
that, then.
horses. They did have horses.
Maybe we'll have an opportunity to fireball them again.
Well, we don't have to fireball them if they're not on the horses. We can just shove them off.
That's also an option.
Why stay around and kill them if we just take the horses away from them?
In any case, shall we worry about that when it's a pressing issue? For now,
Sure thing.
we can see if our
Also-
horses are there. If not, we just move along then.
Also, if you decide to go invisible, please try to remain in a bit of a more constant message contact. As you being invisible, it is kind of hard to determine what you are planning to do.
A hand grips your shoulder. Good communication, friend.
Well,
Are we off then?
yes, we are off then.
Off to where?
Well, it looks like we need another material that is a fungi down in the disease-ridden dungeon of mushrooms.
Let's go.
Well, yeah, we're going to check on the horses first.
Onwards to victory.
All right. Quick thing. So, if the horses are still there, we're going to need someone to keep the horses safe because we might have to literally go immediately.
Well, I'm sure castles have stables.
You know what? Sure. Let's go see if the horses are still fine or
The
whatever.
ones in Barad Baisa have stables, so I don't see why these would be any different.
Well, they're mostly in ruins, so...
They definitely do not. That being said, I think, Jadir's gonna go check up on where he left the horses then.
All right, you guys come out of your abandoned wine cellar and make your way, having packed up and gotten everything ready to go, you make your way back to where you stashed the horses, and rounding the corner of the building, you notice fresh wheel tracks and a large streak of blood mixed in with muddy earth outside the ramshackle structure. The blood comes out from inside the building, and the tracks lead further off out of town. Or not out of town, but more like out of the area.
That is, should we be concerned about this?
Some people riding wagons carelessly. Unless that's my blood, I'm not worried.
How much blood?
A large amount of blood, but it's been mixed into the earth, so it's hard to tell exactly how much. It's kind of been sunken in and
But enough to see
diluted by the downpour.
Yeah. Well, for some reason I feel like this is somehow our fault, so let's just continue.
You don't think this is the horses, do you?
No, I feel like the horses that our dear horde friends came through here who are very angry that possible people living here would be hiding us, let's say. They seem like quite the angry bunch.
Well, we'll worry about that when it becomes an issue.
That seems to be your motto these days. Anyways, let's going.
We're going where?
To
find the
try to find the horses?
I mean, this is the building where you stashed the horses.
So this is
Oh,
literally...
they're gone. They're dead.
You don't know.
So
And we
there's...
will enter inside and see if they're there.
All right, you guys head inside and see just a bloody mess. There are just splashes of blood on the walls and on the floor. Not a single scrap of flesh has been cut, though, at least as far as you can see. There's no remains on the floor. But the ropes have all been, that you had the horses on, are frayed at the ends and kind of as if they did not come apart in a clean manner.
I wish we had dug the hole. They would have been alive, or at least here still. Oof.
Gerald?
Just-
It strikes me as somewhat odd that, well, we're a very long distance away from anywhere civilized. If people are here eating mushrooms and they have opportunities to get 3 horses, even just for food.
That is why I wanted to hide the horses, remember? I wanted to be outside because if we put the tiny hut in front of where the horses were, nothing would be able to get to them.
Why would they just simply not take the horses? They don't even know that they're ours, most likely. This
No,
probably was not the handiwork of bandits.
I know, but what I was thinking of was keeping them alive so we'd have a proper way back and didn't have to walk back.
If whatever did this was outside of our hut, we might be dead.
It wouldn't be able to go through the hut. The entire point of the hut is it keeps everything at bay that is not allowed to go through it.
Jadיר just looks like the absolute rain of gore around. I hope so.
That is how the spell functions. No matter what it is, no matter how strong it is, as long as it's not... Well, actually, there's only one thing that goes through it, and that is the dispels magic. But looking at this mess, it does not look like a mage did this.
Maybe a really hungry mage. Sorry, wrong Francesca.
Great.
Well, that was a quick switch. Did he have a hiccup and that came out?
Yeah, I'm gonna retcon that.
Well, anyways, we can't do anything about this, so we now have a new issue.
More
Friend-
problems for the party.
Friends, do we have enough supplies to walk through?
Walk through what?
Well, where we came from.
You mean back to Barad Baisa?
That is the closest civilization.
Probably. I mean, I can take a inventory check.
All right. Can you do that really quickly while we try to... Let's just say this is a sanity check for my own sake at this point. So,
Well, we can survive without... I suppose... Nah. What we have left of the horse feed will not be able to sustain us, because that's not people food. But between the three of us, and he starts pulling rations out of his bag of holding.
So, our horses are dead or gone. We have bloodthirsty horde bandits after us. We have to go down a dungeon with a deadly disease of mushrooms and living mushroom creatures that might potentially attack us. I'm going to ask you really quickly, how much money do you have on you?
I think money's worth something in here.
Let me put it this way. If we bribe someone that we can, or convince someone that we can take them out of here, that is strong-bodied, we might actually have some muscle to protect us. Yes, it means an extra person to think about, but it also means that we have someone that might know the dungeon, might know how to find this stuff, and might potentially be able to get us out of the bandits' way if we have to hide. So, currently, what I'm thinking of is using our money to bribe said person to that he will be able to be rich when he returns. And that we will try...
That seems rather complex. Here, I have another idea. Could I have the smallest piece of storm glass you have?
He just kind of goes, yeah, sure, take one. And he just hands him the smallest piece.
It's tiny crystal glittering in your hand.
Meanwhile, Gerald is just like, he is literally doing the, if you've seen the Road to El Dorado, he's literally slapping his head against the wall, like trying to fake him away, just like, think.
32,
what can I,
33.
What can I
literally
understand about the
this.
gems?
About the
If you look in the
gems.
general.
Well, Francesca and you guys have already determined that how they're formed, and that they store the strong magical energy delivered by the lightning impact to the glass. Is there anything specific you're trying to discern about the material?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a reservoir, like a font of magic, I want to know if I can use it. I want to try to cast a spell,
All right.
but not using my energy, but the storm glasses, if that's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, you go for it. Roll an Arcana. Let's see what happens.
That was a little too enthusiastic.
So, by the way,
I crit fail. I get a 4.
oh no!
You crit fail and get a 4. Okay. For your Arcana. Okay.
Oh,
Here's what happens. Here's what happens. So, what spell are you trying to cast?
I was going to try to use Major Image.
Okay. So, you feel the arcane energy stored within the storm glass in this tiny little crystal. And you can feel that this is something that you could pull out with your magical proclivities to the use of the arcane. And as you begin to, you close your eyes and you feel the energy, and you pull it out, you feel it go into your arm, and you feel something unusual in your body. You feel something you haven't felt before, and something changes. You attempt to conjure an image before you, you feel something unusually powerful that could come out, but through some horrible mistake, you channel your energy completely incorrectly, making a unique combination of things that you haven't done before in terms of moving the magical energy through your body. And a black energy begins to envelop your hands, coating them in a shadowy essence that makes your skin just look like someone just splashed them with iodine, and then it's like steaming off of them. And suddenly you feel the spell complete, and your hands are this shadowy essence coated. Your hands feel powerful. You've never seen anything like this before. You feel like through a horrible mistake, you've done something entirely different, and your heart pounds with the black energy of the artifact inside of you.
Does this make a sound? Just
Yeah,
asking.
it makes spooky magic noises.
He stops, Gerald stops, banging his head lightly on the wall, and he just turns on.
The crystal lies dormant in your steaming black hand.
That's
What?
a bad idea.
The hell did you do?
I have no idea.
Didn't... Give me a moment.
Could you take a look at my hands, please? I have no idea.
Can I take my crossbow, put an arrow, and shoot at something?
What
Just
are you shooting? Okay, you load an
What
arrow.
is the nearest breakable thing? Just
There's a
anything
window that hasn't been broken.
You know what? Fuck it. He's pissed enough at this point. Just shoots through the window.
He's like, he pulls out his crossbow, loads it in anger, and just shoots it out the window. The bolt just penetrating through the glass. It stays in there, fracturing the glass, but the glass not shattering. And then moments later, just slowly, and then falls apart. The arrow clattering to the ground. The tip of the bolt dulled.
All right, I feel better now. So let's go back to your situation. What did you do?
I tried to conjure the image of a goblin floating in the sky.
All right. What is that in your arm right now?
It's storm glass spent. I have no idea what's going on with my hands. Please take a look at it.
I cannot go over. What is the most noticeable thing about this thing?
I mean, his hands are radiating with an energy unlike any spell you've ever seen before. You can roll an Arcana if you want to try and...
All right. God damn it. Oh my god, I am so lucky right now. I'm using all my luck. I should not be. I got a 19 plus 1, so it's a 20.
A 20 for
I am
Arcana.
actually unhappy about this because I need this luck for what it's about to happen, and I'm using it on goddamn black icky stuff coming from Hat.
I mean, I think it's pretty relevant from my.
It is very
Immediate
relevant.
situation.
But
Okay, on a 20 Arcana, you are able to determine that this is clearly the effects of a spell that throughout your bardic study you've never seen before. As far as you can tell, Jadir has just casted a new spell.
well, Jadir, I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first?
Bad news first.
I have no idea how or what you did there, and no idea if this is going to kill you or not.
You get a sense it probably won't kill him.
Scratch that. May not kill you.
I cast suicide.
Hey, you know,
I have done my best.
just saying, electrocute has self-destruct.
That
So
would be a good bio for Jadir's Instagram.
I cast suicide. He does have a fucking death wish, from what we have seen. If I am ever going to explain a Death Wish character to any new players or anything, I'm just going to pull Jadir's character sheet up and say, this is a Death Wish character. Don't look so fucking proud, Sam. The good news is, well, congratulations. You've invented a spell. I don't know how, but you have. Sorry, kind of does like a very clap. So, what are you going to name it?
Conjure black hands.
That's kind of a lame name, Jadir. Why don't we name it something cool like Enslave Your Foes?
No, we've talked about the slaving thing, and we do not need an extra problem of enslavement right now.
Can I just try to do something with it? Like, just point them away from anything and discharge? I have
You
no
want to
idea what-
discharge? Okay.
Yes.
Wink. So I knew Gerald would like that.
Shut up, I'm a 10-year-old child.
Royal stick. Okay, where are you pointing your hands?
The fucking
away from people.
Okay, so just like at the wall.
Yeah, at a near. You know what? The remnants of that window.
Okay, you point your hand at the shards of glass on the ground, and you feel the energy in your hands. You feel it has a familiar sensation, a branding sense of raw energy and darkness that you've come accustomed to, and kind of it's faded just due to the constantness of its appearance in you, of the crystal inside your heart, that tiny shard, something you've just come accustomed to in your chest, and you now feel this energy in your hands as well, and you take that energy and you unleash it in a pointed ray directly. This beam of black energy shoots out, draining that black color from your hands, as if it were just dumping liquid out of a container, and it shoots forward, impacting the shards of glass on the ground, and they vanish. Roll a d4.
I really hope that there's no random bypasser
One.
walking by that window.
And they disappear out of sight completely.
Did it hit the window, or did it go out of the window as well?
No, they just vanish. It looks like they.
No, I'm talking about the
the
beam.
shards of glass. No, the beam impacted the shards of glass, and the shards of glass vanished, as if someone had cast invisibility on them.
All right.
Do I feel like I'm concentrating on a spell?
No.
Can I go inspect the area where they were? Are
Yes.
they invisible, or did they just disappear?
You go to investigate where the shards of glass were. You're touching the ground and they're gone. Wherever the glass shards are, they're not invisible and they're not here.
Well, icky black hands make things disappear. I've learned nothing. I have more questions. I'm wasting time. Shall we head towards the castle then?
Yes.
So much enthusiasm.
No, it's just imagine like the character that is usually always tries to be calm, tries to be like all that stuff, just on the tilting point, like constantly getting poked, and it's like the tilting point is just here.
It's a stressful situation.
Literally, there's like 4 things that can kill us right
There's
now.
a
We have to
group
deal with
of
them.
bandits looking for you. Your horses are gone, and you need another ingredient. All right. You guys head off towards the castle, which coincidentally is also in the direction of these wheel tracks into the mud, which are clearly
Oh.
very fresh.
Oh no.
You are making your way towards the castle and following the tracks, and you can see you guys have been walking along this for long enough that you've just kind of eventually blatantly noticed that there are what look to be like beastly clawed tracks accompanying that of the wheels, and the tracks lead you forward towards this large looming castle off in the distance. As you approach it, you can see that the structure stands tall, and the exterior of it, which was probably once a really sturdy wall, has been reduced to rubble and ruin. The court has just been completely overgrown with vines and trees, puddles, the rain pouring down. This place has completely fallen to ruins, but the main castle still stands well enough.
Well, so we see the courtyard and whatnot. Do we see the thing that created the track marks? Do we see something that could have left the claw marks?
The tracks end at when the dirt and mud turns to old cobblestone, which is very close to the start of the castle. The kind of the dirt and mud is very slowly, as you're rolling the wheel in the tracks, that the paw prints and the claw prints and the wheels just slowly fade as the mud is tracked off onto the cobblestone, but it leads into the castle.
Inside the castle proper, like inside the structure, or like in a courtyard?
Inside the structure, there is no remaining courtyard. Everything has been lost to the elements.
Well, I see no other way for us to go and forward.
All right. So
You guys seem so upset.
I am. It is just mostly just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. We arrived.
That's the first law. Is that Murphy's law? Whose law is that?
That is Murphy's law.
Yeah.
I know.
Someone's law. I see this as an absolute win. It's the best trade deal of all time.
Finn has just decided to have his character have a massive death wish. I think that is what's going on.
I think this is going splendidly.
What?
I am going to be right back.
All right. The drama, the tension.
It is just like, okay, everything could have been avoided.
That's true. But what would be the fun in that?
Every time, like, okay, quick question. Every time I mention something, like with the horses and all that stuff, like, that didn't sound like a dumb idea, right?
No, that was a completely reasonable idea. You don't know what's in the city.
Because it was like, because just as you were playing the NPC, it was like, oh, why would we do that? That seems cowardly. And I was like, am I the crazy one?
You should know, out of characters have a tendency, players have a tendency, not characters. Because I'm the DM, a lot of the players that I run for often assume that whatever I say to them as an NPC is true because I'm the dungeon master and I'm trying to communicate with them via NPC. Why would an NPC be honest, smart, thoughtful?
I'm aware, but it just... Finn was so willing to jump on the same idea as the NPC, so I was just like...
I think that's what Jadir would have done. It wasn't unreasonable to leave the horses out either. Both of them were valid options.
Because literally, my backup plan at this point, and I don't mind telling you this. Actually, should I just let it happen and see how good your improv is?
Yeah, let it happen, man. This session's gonna be a lot of improv.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
It is literally just Jadir goes and does his thing. Gerald, okay, let's plan this. Let's try to approach this in a safe manner. Meanwhile, Jadir just goes, I have no longer any plan. I have been defeated. My sanity can't take anymore.
We have no idea where we're at, really. We have no way to plan, because either we spend a whole lot of time investigating, running our wheels, or we just adapt to situations, I guess.
Exactly. This guy knows what's up.
You just go and investigate, and then we plan. I mean, the tracks go in, but maybe not such a bad situation. I don't know. Worst case scenario, we run away.
You know, there won't always be a situation where we can run away. We are literally
then we fireball.
We are literally the characters from Monty Python, where they pretty much are like, run away!
Dude, okay,
run
Monty
away!
Python and the Holy Grail is literally just a D&D campaign.
Yeah, and I feel like we are currently the knights, because all we have been
A shitty D&D campaign.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I mean...
This has gone from El Dorado to Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
Well, I investigate the area in front of us. Like, I could just go forward. I mean,
Right.
Is there anybody around?
You go forward. So the entrance of this castle leads forward into what was probably once an entrance hall. Now the vines and weeds have grown in to the inside and get weaker and weaker the further inside the keep that they go, as they are not meant to grow on stone. So eventually kind of fading into a regular castle-esque thing, which has just been completely tarnished by time. Any sense of cleanliness or habitability stripped away long ago. You notice immediately on the inside of the wall, as you're coming in, a piece of paper with a poorly drawn sketch of Gerald and what looks to be a very, very accurate copy of a portrait of you that you recall having painted of you during your time in Illibert from your family shortly before you left. So this picture looks to be a version of you several years younger than you are now, but strikingly accurate and certainly a copy of a portrait of you from long ago. And there is a bounty on your heads. You are wanted by the Order of the Ashen Blade. There is a 2,000 gold bounty on your heads. And you are wanted alive.
Fifth problem. Lovely. So, DM, how poorly is the description of me on this?
It's not great. I mean, it's not inaccurate. I mean, the sketch artist did a solid enough job, but it's not... You would have to compare them side by side to see that this is probably you. Jadir, on the other hand, is...
Good question.
Yeah.
Gerald hasn't had a haircut or anything in a while, so is this with him with short hair?
This is what you looked like yesterday.
So long hair.
Yes. So
well,
this is a sketch of you right now, whereas this is a sketch of a portrait of Jadir from years ago.
All right. So.
Not that you would know that. You would just see that. This is a very
I'm going to do something. Will you give me a couple of minutes?
But we're sort of not in a very... This is a fairly compromised location.
I know. I'm going to an alleyway for a bit.
All right. Suit yourself.
Actually, quick question. Description of the area. You said there's blood tracks and all that stuff, right?
There were blood tracks where you guys found the blood, like a half a mile from here.
Does this look like the area has been is currently in a tense or quote unquote hostile situation?
You don't see anyone around the area directly where you are right now at the entrance to the castle.
Okay. Okay, Jadir, I'm going to change my look since that is horrifying. Really bad. Also
really,
horrifying.
I think it captures you quite well.
Well, either way, I need to change my look.
Look, I'm not sure.
Look,
It's
I'm
rather
not letting
strange.
the
You see,
fifth...
I get that, but that's a picture of me from a very long time ago. A portrait.
And that is a picture of me currently. So I would like to change.
Here's the problem. That's a picture of me from years ago.
And that is a picture of me yesterday.
It looks like you're
I don't think
wanted.
We are.
I haven't always gone under the same name, you see, and that is expediently acquired.
And that's
Rather strange, wouldn't you think?
And that still is a semi-accurate drawing of me. I would like to change my look so we don't have people hunting us.
I doubt that it'll matter, but suit yourself.
You guys could pretend to be my slaves.
We need to talk about the whole slave thing.
I think people would buy that.
They would also probably want to kill you, as you would be responsible for what we did then.
Well, after you look different.
Anyways,
I think it's a good idea.
Anyways, I am going to change my look. Give me 10 minutes. And I just kind of stumbles around like...
You looking over like a puddle of water, you start putting on makeup and stuff.
At this point, it is no longer
Just
about looking
let me
good.
do it, and I'll help you out just to make the whole process faster.
Alright, you're able
Yeah.
to cut the time in half.
Also, I'm using the disguise kit to completely change my hair color.
Nice. What color is your new hair color?
You know what? Screw it. For now, we're just going with. Actually, I wouldn't be able to have like a very vivid color, would I? It would most likely be black or brown, wouldn't it?
Anime blue.
Anime blue. My God, is that the main protagonist?
I mean, I have white hair. It's a wig, but it's there.
Yeah, no, because everybody knows him as blonde, so I think the smartest decision will just be to change his hair color to, let's say, brown. People will expect maybe black, so brown.
Very boring.
It's a good
like
line
it.
of thought.
Yeah, of course it is boring. I'm trying to look boring.
Alright, you completely alter your appearance such that you can't even recognize yourself anymore.
Well, until we are in a safe situation, this is how I look.
Just
Okay.
OBS logo pops up.
But yeah, until then, this is how I look.
All right. Well, shall we proceed inward?
You're not gonna
Yes.
change your appearance, Jadir?
We get into trouble, we'll run away.
Alright, I'll trust your judgment.
Both of us looking, very bad idea. Actually, Jadir, stand still for a second because I feel like you owe me on this one to let me do this to you. I take some of the thing, basically from the disguise kit. Can I change his skin color to look like a high elf?
That is a major that would probably take about...
It is coloring. And I'm only doing
I
it,
would not allow that to happen.
and I'm only doing it because he's already wearing thick clothes, so I only have to do the face, the
that's
hands.
true. You could probably do that in about 5 to 10 minutes.
I have horns. Prominent horns.
Oh yeah, I was mixing a thing. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
I always have this in case I need to go somewhere fancy. He pulls a top hat out of his bag.
Oh my God.
They're not in the middle.
He puts it on,
Wait.
and he's like, "See, don't I look fancy?"
Wait, no.
That's brilliant.
Sir
For some
Francis
reason-
always loved this.
For some reason, I was mixing a campaign together. I thought he was a drow, not a tiefling.
Oh my god.
I have been doing a lot, but anyways. Do I have any green color in the disguise kit?
I am
Dark
not going to be
green.
some strange goblin. Shall
No,
we
you're gonna be a
proceed?
lizardman. You're gonna be a lizardman.
How do I... Silently, Jadir just like mimes the mouth of like an elongated lizard. It's like,
I don't know, goblin, lizardman, whatever.
I thought you traveled.
I've never seen a lizardman.
Those exist?
I've heard stories about them, never seen one. To be fair,
I'm starting
I think
to feel like Barad Baisa needs better public education.
Brad Bison does not currently have great public education
also,
under
I
the
come-
Audemars crown.
You have to also keep in mind, my character comes from a small village, then went into a circus. He literally only knows the basic of reading and writing. That's about it.
Meanwhile, I flunked private school.
Look, all right. France, what does he look like if we change his skin color?
There'll be no changing of my skin color. If we need to do that, I can do that myself. Right?
Then do it
Shall
now.
we proceed?
Then please
What
do
would
it
you
now.
have?
And now, France, you be the deciding. What would completely not be like him?
A gnome.
That may be too small.
I can't really do that.
What about a half-orc?
We could make it so the horns are like a Viking helm.
True. And
A
give him
Viking,
a
a
little tusk.
Viking half orc. Yes.
Give him
All
tusks
right,
as well.
I'll be a half orc. when we get near people. I have some limited time on that, all right? It's a once a
All right.
day type of deal.
And the backstory is that you managed to get stranded here.
I thought you guys were my slaves.
That... Let's just say for now, companions. As we are. The less we have to lie, the better.
3 companions traveling without slaves? Blasphemy. Anyway, let's go.
We could have gotten shipwrecked.
Shipwrecked in the middle of the salt flats.
No, we traveled because
The less we lie, the better. We got shipwrecked in the desert.
well, think about it. It's not that far from the ocean. If you shipwrecked, you'd have to walk through.
Anyway,
God damn it! I tried to make sense of things, and you're like, you said dumb.
we just like making fun of you.
I know.
That's
you
really
bully
the dynamic.
me. I'm just bullied. That is the dynamic.
Yes. You're the punching bag of the group.
That's fine.
Yeah, I kind of want to proceed further in, but hopefully avoid being spotted, I suppose. Just hang to
Alright.
the back.
Stealth check. I'll roll for Franz as well. Solid.
I get a 20.
Nice. Gerald?
I feel like I'll just catch less attention if I look as boring as I do right now. But
Wow.
for the sake that they're doing stealth checks, I'll do one as well. Oh wow, 17 plus 4, 21.
All right. So the 3 of you guys have no problem slinking through the keep. You guys make your way out of the main hall. It seems that after you get a certain way into the castle, you can hear from further up above. So there's 2 sources of primary auditory stimulus that you guys can hear. One is coming from further up in the keep towards the top, and the other is coming down from the bottom. You can hear faint conversation coming from above, whereas below, further down into sets of stairs that go down and down, you can hear another faint voice. You guys go down the stairs. You can see as you descend the steps, the voices become louder, and you can see that as you guys are coming down, they don't appear to notice you, but 4 men are currently loudly engaged in a game of cards. There are drinks on the table, and they are kind of shouting at each other, not paying very much attention to you. Further beyond that, you can see what looks to be a large cave-like opening in the side of the wall as you guys have reached the lowest part of the castle. You get eerie vibes from the cave, yet the men seem to be in good enough spirits.
What are they arguing about?
You kind of listen in, eavesdropping, and you can hear one of them like, "Bullshit! That you're cheating!" He's like, "No." Like, they seem to just be engaged in the game itself.
Alright. Is there a possibility for us to just slink past them without them noticing?
You can try, yeah.
How bright is this section?
It's not very well lit. They have a small lantern on their desk or on the table, which is one of the only usable pieces of equipment in the room. Everything else is here. This is was once some sort of storage room. It was all decayed over time. You might be able to sneak through the different boxes and crates laying around.
Do we feel like it would be a very difficult task or no?
Not extremely difficult. Doable. Certainly a chance of failure.
Okay. We should go one by one.
All right, who goes first?
Jadir shrugs and attempts to walk forward, I guess.
You get a pat on the back and a nod of encouragement from Franz as you creep down the stairs. Roll stealth.
12.
12. All right. Nice. All right. You're creeping through the boxes, and you hear as you getting closer to the group, creeping by. One of like Tom should be back pretty soon. Maybe this should be the last round. And if you keep going, you can make it to the entrance of the cave without being spotted.
Yeah, I kind of want to slink into the cave itself and then press myself against the wall and wait for the others.
Okay. Franz looks at you. He's like, right, you or me next?
Stand still for a second. I kind
He
of like
stands very
puts like
straight.
he kind of puts like a thing to hide like any effects of the thing, and
It's a thing to
I
hide.
use a
effects of-
third. Basically, where my hand is going to go. And give me a second.
Okay.
I use a third level spell to use enhance ability on both me and Franz to give us
Ooh.
cat's grace. So,
Advantage on dex checks.
nah. Because there's a slight thing, but yeah.
He's like,
Actually, I don't think there is. Actually,
you go first, and should you
All
fail,
right.
I will rush to your aid.
All right. Natural 20.
Sword say,
Natural
24.
24. You just kind of effortlessly move through the boxes doing tricks as you do. Super mega parkour. You're a mega badass.
just cartwheeling your
Yeah.
way through the place. Yeah.
You take an unnecessary risk as you leap across an open room, doing like a sneaky parkour somersault upon landing, and then land like with your fist like on your forehead.
Why is it always me? Why did this never happen to
Amazing.
I swear to God, you guys are gonna end up actually having a full-on cult.
I thought that was the plan.
Wait,
Friends follows in suit.
what? Oh, no.
He's like inspired by what you've done, attempts to mimic. Oh wait, he has disadvantage on stealth because he's wearing. Oh wait, no, never mind. He's wearing studded leather, so he doesn't have disadvantage. So he moves forward and attempts to do what you do. Barely, he like does a cartwheel, barely managing to finish it. Taking a few heavy
Amazing.
breaths and then trying to do a leap across the chasm between two old barrels. And he does the somersault, but then lands flat on his back. One of the people looks out like, did you hear that? Must have been the wind.
Why the Skyrim guards? Why?
Sorry, I love doing that.
It must have been my
Good enough to.
imagination. It must have been in my imagination. Who's there? Must have been the wind.
You're all currently gathered at the entrance to this cave, which just moves forward into the darkness and descends into branching paths.
Oh, Lordy Lou.
Okay, well,
Welcome to the dungeon.
taking care not to get lost or try to memorize the passages as best we can. I guess we just descend.
All right.
I have to do this. Is the path lit?
The path is not lit. No, of course not. There's not like torches.
There are 2 humans and 1.
Oh, that's
tiefling.
right. So what are you guys doing for light? The light from their table quickly fades as you move forward into the pitch black, which Jadir completely fails to notice that he's fine. But
Yeah, I feel like superior dark vision for 120 feet.
you two have no idea what's in front of you.
I should have a torch back
Guys,
up.
it's getting kind of dark.
I have a candle. I literally have 5 pieces of candle. I'm gonna have to use prestidigitation on a candle to light it. And just hold the candle.
All right. A faint glow flickers as you walk through the tunnels with your candle lit. The air is thick and dense with a substance that feels unclean yet invisible. This is not the fresher atmosphere of the world above. You move forward through these dark caves, and it continues down before opening up into a larger room. Clearly, this is a natural cave. The floor of the cave has been smoothed out by heavy use. On the other side of this room, what looks to be once a passage has been caved in by fallen rocks. There is a hole in the ground that descends directly downwards vertically. There is a rope that has been tied around a stalagmite. Yes, the ones on the ground, stretching down into the hole.
All right, Jadir will move up to the edge of the chasm and look down.
Yeah, so this hole is roughly 60 feet down. A waft of pungent air like rotten eggs rises up from the depths. There are metal anchors jutting out of the side. This was likely used at some point to hoist materials up from below.
Shall we risk taking someone else's rope down?
Well, do you have any other way down?
Well, I have rope, but it would be dangerous to hoist our own down. But if they were to return and take theirs, we might be stuck down there.
Well, here's the question. They might also take ours if they see that. Like, oh, forgot that rope.
Well, I think for now, let's take their rope and descend.
All right.
Do I hear anything from the chasm?
From right here, listening in, roll a perception check.
3.
3. You do not hear anything.
May I roll one?
You may.
Though I guess
this
I'm
is. I should have been more clear about this as well. This is not perfectly linear. There are other routes you could take down should you deem that you do not want to go down this particular hole.
Well,
Does
I mean,
this
it
cave
is the
system
source
go-
of the pungent stuff.
Does this does it go further down anywhere else, or is this just
specific room? The cave in on the far wall looks like it once held another passage, just based on the shape of where the room is at that point. But it's clearly not something you could traverse at this point.
So it is either go back or go down the hole.
Yes, you could trace your steps back, take a different route, or you could go down this hole.
From our memories, did any of the other caves have a steeper decline?
Yes.
So, we can take this and have a risk of not being able to go back up, or we can go back and take the one cave with a steeper decline.
Well, I think we ought to. We'll turn back and investigate the other way and then come back.
All right.
All right. You guys turn around and find another branching path which descends further down. You, going down further and further, you enter into another enormous cavern, and while the tunnel before you was like very... Never mind. But you're at the edge of this steep drop-off. Sorry, I was trying to describe something cavey on the fly, and then it just left me, and it was really awkward.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're at the edge of a steep drop-off that goes about 30 feet down at a 70-degree incline, stopping on the cave floor. The mine track, which there is a mine track at this point. It's coming down, and it's on a narrow trestle bridge that continues forward and down. The track splits in two different locations, moving off to the left at the first one and to the right at the second. But the track also continues forward and down as well. The side tracks lead off into different parts of the cave.
Are there any like cross pieces between the tracks? Like, could we just use it as rungs, like on a ladder, to just walk down?
Yeah, definitely.
Quick question. Compared to the other cave that we were in, or other section, is the air moist down here?
It's not significantly, measurably more humid in this area than it was in the last.
Okay. Also, how long is this taking us walking around?
It took you about 15 minutes to go from the last location to where you are now.
My candle lasts only an hour.
I have more torches, should we need them. I have a full dungeoneering kit in my bag.
That is actually really handy.
I wanted to be prepared for our adventure.
To be fair, I didn't
He's so
expect to go.
wholesome, but he's also a slaver. It's
Why do you think we're trying to change him?
I wouldn't want anything ill to befall my comrades.
Oh. I swear to God,
I
if
want
he
to
dies,
simultaneously end him, and also I wish the best for him. It's an odd mixture.
So, do you think we're far enough from where the other people were, where we can light a torch as this thing, and he points at the candle, which is literally 5 feet of bright light and another 5
yes.
of dim light?
It's a bit spooky for me. He pulls out a torch from his bag of holding, and he lights it on fire, and you now get a much brighter radius of light illuminating the cavern in something clear. In fact, you probably wouldn't have seen the actual cave itself on 5 feet of bright light and 5 feet of dim light, but now you can.
Oh, great. I'm a bit less claustrophobic now.
Well, as long as we have long passages, I should be able to see if anyone else with light approaches us.
Yes. So, which path do you guys want to take? Do you want to roll the dice on it?
My vote is irrelevant. I am an NPC.
Actually, Franz, where do you want to go? We've not asked you for a long time.
That's a good question, friend. I vote we go right.
Oh,
I don't even know which one is right. Or is he talking about down this
Okay, so yeah,
passage
so it
or
goes
the right?
forward. The mine track splits in 3 locations. One going forward, one goes to the left, and then one goes to the right. On the left track, you can see it goes off, hitting somewhere that goes up to some degree. There was one that goes forward and down into a further cave down below, and then one that goes off to the right and
Where
down
does
into
that-
a different cave.
all right.
Let's pick the middle one.
What, does my vote not matter?
Very awkward.
It's difficult to see. Trust me, it has a bad look to it.
I don't
I'll
know,
trust you.
Oh no. He was so easily persuaded.
Sorry,
Kabir
just messing with him at this point. It's probably a bit too dumb for this campaign. All right,
Oh, man.
so you guys are going forward, right?
No.
Okay. Moving forward, you're going down this track, which let's see.
You don't say.
Sorry, I'm building the dungeon, as Gerald would say.
I'm building a dungeon. I once did that and still do.
Oh my god.
You guys are coming forward, and you enter this room. So as you follow this mine track, it eventually connects to a larger cylindrical room housing shelves carved into the wall. They seem to be filled with tools and old equipment. Several rusted mine carts lay on their side, knocked off the tracks. Grappling hooks, hammers, ropes, various tools are stuffed into these shelves.
Quick question. What is the floor and the ceiling like being supported? Is it being supported at all, actually?
So this room is a bit unlike the others you've encountered. It appears that this is a deliberately carved room, and it actually strikes you as kind of odd that there is a old mine beneath a castle, especially regarding the rumors that you've heard of fungal caves.
Well, it is a mystery.
Does this even look recent?
No, this all looks ancient.
Are there any tracks here of like recent activity? Has dirt been piling on the tools, or
Make an investigation.
That's a 1.
Oh my god.
How many
dear.
did you get?
You decide now would be a good time for an investigation to determine what's going on quite here. You look down, studying the ground intently. You got nothing.
You know what? I'm just
it's
going
quite
to see.
dusty in here.
Can I also investigate? Or is that...
You can investigate.
I do so much better. 8.
8. Well, that's better than a 1. There is a level of activity that has happened here. You see footprints in the ground, which clearly are not as old as the ancient artifacts around you.
Well, one thing's for sure. There has been activity around here. Other than that, they might have long left, or there might be some people inside. I can't
Do you think
determine how
this is
old.
Do you think this is a place where people harvest the fungal creatures or whatever?
Could be. For all we know, we might have stumbled into a strange cult.
Seems less
That's-
likely than the fungal thing we've been hearing about.
True, but it would be
A
strange
cult
for
of
the
the fungus.
No.
All hail, Shroomy.
France, are you okay?
I was being sarcastic. This man, I think he has a problem understanding sarcasm. Have you run into this before, Jadir?
It's every day of my life.
Understandable.
You know,
Do we want
the
to
fact that
proceed
my
further in?
sarcasm got insulted with another sarcasm, that is a new low, I will admit.
I do that every session.
No, it's like he was being sarcastic. He's being like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then he's like, "I was being sarcastic." Like, so was I.
Thank you. It's amazing.
God.
We have just like meta sarcasmception, like trying to. Anyway,
We're the most sarcastic group ever.
So is there like does the passage still stretch further down?
from this specific area, it's a cylindrical room here. The cave does not stretch any further down from this room.
Okay. So we'll turn back around then.
Okay, left or right?
Franz, how do you feel? You know, you always have this great insight on directions, and we always feel like we can trust you on this one.
I still think we should go right.
You know, at this
Right
point,
it is then.
Yeah.
All right. You guys start going right. All the walls begin to go from this pure rock to something covered in moss and fungal growth. This portion of the track is overgrown with moss. Here, the mushroom growth is beginning to come through, and you can get another waft of that pungent odor from before.
Can I stop them for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this might be a smart way to cover our faces, unless someone wants to get a disease.
Francesca.
Is this the right kind of fungus?
I don't know, but I don't want to take the risk.
I have
All
KN95 masks if you need them. Just kidding.
How prepared are you? Just like looks in, he has an entire fucking arsenal of
It
survivors
is the
kit.
TARDIS. We are traveling with the Doctor.
But yeah,
He
uh,
has some bandanas, I guess.
wait, actually, he does.
Sure.
Oh, all right. Wow. Okay,
Jadir
fair.
takes
He's the
silken
definition
handkerchief from
of like
his,
the
suit.
car camper who has never been camping before and brings literally his entire house.
Which is surprisingly good in this situation.
You know what? I will not insult his preparedness and will accept his
I will.
bandana.
I am genuinely impressed.
Thank you.
You're like-
I wanted to make sure we were prepared for anything.
Do you by any chance have like the same rifles they have?
No,
In
no.
case of wildlife. All right. I was just seeing, because at that point, I would have to say that that is like a new natural born skill that you have.
I like to
But
think I'm
anyway-
good at preparing.
I will agree with you. You are very good at like looks at the stuff inside. Is that a kettle?
I always take my portable stove wherever I go. He doesn't have a portable fucking stove.
It's just like
You can't see in his bag of holding. It's a black void.
I know, I was joking.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so I like covered tightly. Do you want a dexterity check on how tightly we can put our masks against our face?
No, you don't need to roll. I'm not one of the DMs like roll to climb down a ladder.
To cross the bar.
Fun fact:
To
my
take
first character death ever was in 7th grade because my character rolled a nat 1 climbing down a ladder and was a level
my
1.
God.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Nice.
So you guys are continuing forward?
Yeah.
All right, bandana's wrapped around
yeah.
your face. You eventually, moving through this mine track, which is just getting more and more overgrown, you eventually arrive at a larger cave with a floor so overgrown with fungus that the mine track has been completely eroded away. There is a dense growth on the western wall of the cave where you can see 2 humanoid figures grown into the wall, completely covered, just like the imprint of humanoids.
Seeing that I got a really high nature check when I was checking for the fungi, do I at least know what the fungi looks like? I might not know the name or anything, but do I know how it looks like?
Oh, the one
That
that you're looking for with the
Yeah.
yeah. So on that nature check, there are multiple different funguses that excrete that particular compound, but it has a distinct odor of a cross between sulfur and something almost fruity, like very old strawberries.
All right. And I doubt there's anything here.
Great.
There is in front of you guys, you can see that the tunnel continues forward, a natural cave, in a jagged winding motion. There is also in this particular room, beneath the imprints of humans in the wall, there is a chest.
Are the humans alive?
You don't know. And you don't even know if they're people. They're just humanoid imprints in the wall. There's no facial features. It's just that figure completely overgrown in fungus and mold.
So kind of like talking with mass.
I will try to message them. Hello? Do they register as people to me? Entities?
Would they have to speak? Yeah, okay, so you don't sense any reply to your message.
Okay.
I feel like the whole chest around a bunch of humanoid pocketed fungi. I feel like we should leave the chest alone.
Do your mage hands and pokes at the creatures.
All right, your mage hand coming forward strokes and begins poking at the imprints on the side of the wall, which suddenly these creatures, the one that you poked, eyes go open, and you can see completely bloodshot humanoid eyes. It looks like literally all of the blood vessels in the eyes have popped such that it's completely red. Its mouth opens up, revealing what human teeth that have just all fallen out, and black mold has just gone into its mouth and grown down its throat, and just
Good. We'll be on our way.
it's just staring at you.
Jadil waves and tries to move away.
You slowly back away. I mean, it's attached to the wall. It's not coming after you.
Is it secreting anything by any pure chance other than death?
You can go investigate it if you want.
No, I don't feel like investigating the murder shroom.
Well, I am curious, but Look, I just want to see. Judith turns around, Mage hands the chest.
Oh no.
You're opening the chest with Mage Hand? It is
I can only
unlocked.
lift 10 pounds with it, yeah, so.
Yeah, you can lift up the lid of the chest. You lift it open with your Mage Hand from a safe distance, and you can see inside immediately as you open it up. I mean, you're already in this kind of like pungent, gross area, but immediately a horrific waft of terrible smelling air comes out, and you can see inside. However old this food is, it's clearly not as old as the city's history, as it would have completely rotted away. But this food is very old, but comparatively likely a recent cache of food that has completely gone to waste and smells just absolutely horrific.
I'm imagining I just kind of like stop the mage hand immediately and like the lid just comes down and the chest just collapses into itself.
It's just like this disgusting
And it
pile
only
of
just
food.
makes it worse because it just
Broken.
like fluffs it up.
Does it go anywhere? The tunnel does it continue?
Yeah, so going forward, so the tunnel
Oh,
continues
no.
forward.
Why does it continue?
There's it continues forward. So there's I mean, you'd have to go a little bit further too.
Well, we would
Yeah.
proceed in, yeah.
There so the tunnel continues forward in this jagged winding motion in a narrow cave opening. There appears to be this old wooden walkway built just above it, but age has brought immense wear to them. So the tunnel continues forward, but just as you enter the chamber's small dark opening, there's another opening to the east. It's filled with enormous stalagmites, like the teeth of some horrible monster, and you can see a narrow fissure with a horrendous draft coming from it that smells like rotten eggs. The passage continues forward as well, and you can see another intersection with a path that goes off and left to the down and left from here.
Do you want to explore the chasm there? Should we just keep going?
Can we? You have the longest sight out of all of us, so you're going to have to be the decider on this. Where does it look like we're going to find the fungi that we need?
Just stay here for a moment. And I kind of want to see if I can make my way to the chasm.
The chasm? Oh, the fissure in the side of the wall.
Yeah, the fissure, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
so it's a vertical fissure in the side of the wall, okay, you make your way kind of parting off from Gerald for a moment, making your way through these enormous stalactites, moving towards the fissure in the wall. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I get a 4.
Oh no!
Can I roll above a 5 this session?
You have rolled so bad this session.
How are you rolling so bad? How is he always rolling so bad?
All right, so
I don't have bardic inspiration and expertise.
Oh, true. I do have that, and I also have Jack of all trades, which is handy.
you're walking through this area of the cave when suddenly this massive wave of force hits you. It feels as if this literal block of like molasses slams into your head as this yellow jelly completely envelops you as it drops down from the ceiling.
Oh no!
You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of acid damage as you become entirely trapped within this ooze.
Do we hear this or see this?
Yeah, you see this.
All right.
Oh my god!
Can I just immediately?
Roll initiative.
No. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, aren't we? Yeah. Oh my god, my initiative checks are always shit. I got a 5.
I got a nat
How?
20.
I got a 15. Oh, well, I finally thought I rolled well.
I do have a -2, so I got an 18 for initiative.
I don't think it changes much.
I mean, a 15 is still
Yeah.
15.
Oh, I gotta roll for Franz. Franz rolled a 5.
Hey, welcome to the club, Franz.
What'd you get, Gerald?
5.
Nice, but you have more dice.
Yeah.
Okay. The jelly continues to leech at you. You feel your skin burning on fire as it constricts you within this horrible. There's no air. It's terrifying. You take another 8 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of acid damage.
I really hope he doesn't end up as Slime Chow.
Also, heads up, you guys are in a dungeon. I don't know if I mentioned that.
I've kind of figured at this point. I kind of figured.
Fuck. I thought this was a social encounter.
Man, I could have sworn.
I would like to intimidate the slime. I scowl at it.
You're
Okay.
up, Jadir.
I would like to get the fuck out, and I would like to Misty Step away from the darn thing.
Do you need verbal components to do Misty Step?
Oh my god. That's a very awkward question for you to ask. Because it is entirely verbal.
Yeah, so you can't talk. You go to open your mouth and immediately realize the mistake you've made as acidic slime starts to slide into your mouth. You're able to clamp your mouth shut, but now you have this horrible, it tastes like putrid, vile, a mix of vomit and rotting shit inside of your mouth that you can't get out of. You can't breathe. Your skin is on fire.
May I just give him a suggestion so he does not die?
No, he can't hear you.
Damn it. Damn it.
You can yell at the blob. I mean.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I mean, for my action, I would like to try to break out if I can.
All right, make a strength check.
I got a 3.
You
Oh my God.
struggle as hard as you can, but you only seem to become deeper and deeper wedged into the flesh of this horrifying abomination of a creature.
That's it for me.
Woo! Gerald, you better save your friend.
Ah, yes. Time for the combat bard.
Good thing you guys are optimized for the dungeon.
So optimized. Quick question. If I would have, would I know if I were to use Cloud of Daggers, would I be able to hit just the slime and not the person inside?
I'd leave it up to a coin flip.
I feel like, is he very much in the middle?
I mean, rules as written, you would hit him, but I'd leave it up to a coin flip. I think you've achieved a certain level of mastery over your own magic.
It only does 4d4. on the bright side, if it happens, I can always healing word him because I see him.
That's true.
So, sorry, not sorry, I guess.
Lovely.
Goddamn. You know what? I am going to cast Cloud of Daggers at 3rd level.
All right. Big gamble.
And that makes the fill the air spin daggers, yeah. So it is 6d4.
64.
Yeah, a creature
Alright.
takes damage when enters the spell area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there.
Okay.
So no matter what, it's going to take 6d4.
All right. Franz is. I was literally about to say, Franz, you're up. What are you doing?
I don't know. What will I do?
What am I doing?
I-
Franz stops to think about what he should do. I know. I'll draw my longsword and attack.
I roll to think.
He is. I'm gonna roll a. Oh shit. Yeah, that's a nat 1 for Franz's intelligence check. Yeah, he's gonna attempt to do some slashing damage here with his longsword. That is a 9 plus. Oh yeah, he hits. Oh, 19. Yeah, so Franz takes his blade and slices it directly into the slime, trying to cut off an area for you to escape through. And as he does, dealing minimum damage to the jelly, he deals
no.
3 points of 4 points of slashing damage. And as he does, he cleaves the slime in half. Jadir, you are still enveloped, but it is going to be easier escape now that the slime is smaller. But the slime that he cuts in half begins to move slowly off to the side and begins to sprout slimy arms of its own.
Oh, God.
Franz looks terrified. There's 2 of them now.
Oh no.
It's the jelly's turn. So the one
It takes
that
damage?
you're inside. Oh, that's right. What's the radius of the cloud of daggers again?
5 feet.
5 feet.
It's,
Okay,
it's
so
a large
it's a
creature.
it's a single tile. It's medium now. It was large before.
Okay.
So
Well, it's about to take a lot of damage, I hope.
odds or evens, Jadir?
Always go odd.
All right. That's a 2.
Evens are a trap.
All right, so both Jadir
Okay.
and the slime that he is inside of. Where are all my
I just can't catch a break today.
Oh, roll damage. Why am I rolling for you? Yeah, roll damage. And this is piercing damage, right? For daggers?
Wait. Give me a second. Oh, fuck. Okay, so... I'm just rolling. And then final... It is 18, and it's technically counts as magical, since it's magic.
Okay.
So he's taking 18.
He's taking 18 points of piercing damage.
I think
Actually,
so.
it doesn't
Let me-
matter. Sorry. Never mind.
Oh, alright.
You guys take 18 points of piercing damage. Or damage.
Radio.
I'm going to be fair, it does say slashing.
Yep, but he still doesn't split because you've damaged him too much with your vortex of daggers. That is also slicing these daggers, moving about, slicing, penetrating in and out of this slime like arrows, but piercing into Jadir as well. Not a fun experience. The slime and the acid begins to spill into the open wounds that the daggers have, this putrid, disgusting, icky, dirty acidic slime is now sizzling into the wounds that have been carved into you by the vortex of blades.
Astonishing.
You're up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was the,
Yeah, it's the other
slime's turn,
The other slime's gonna go after Franchester. That is a miss, as Franchester, in his shock that he just created a second slime, stumbles back, just by chance evading this reaching arm of slime moving towards him.
Wait, what is going on? It went from the slime's turn to Franchester.
There's two slimes now.
Oh, okay. I was a bit confused.
I don't think the slime actually took an action on its turn. It just was damaged by the cloud.
Unless it used its action.
There's two slime. So the slime that Jadir is inside of attacked Jadir with its action. And
right.
the other slime used its action to attack Franz.
Fair. Understandable.
All right. Jadir.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Okay. So the 18 was the damage dealt to me previously.
Yes.
Okay. So I start my turn in the cloud of daggers.
You do.
Okay.
Does that technically
Should I roll
mean
the
this-
odds or evens or whatnot?
Wait, quick question.
The odds and I'd say that the vortex was gonna apply to. You're not gonna take double blade damage from.
Yeah,
Okay.
because otherwise the slime would have to take that again. as
rules
well.
as written. I think that's how it would work, but I just don't think that makes sense mechanically.
Okay. And because I'm kind of confused. The 18, I thought previously that was from the daggers, but then when did the slime attack me or?
Yeah, it attacked you.
I forgot to attack you with the slime, didn't I?
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's
You're
the
right.
case.
Sorry.
How could you?
It's an auto
Kill
hit
us
because
better.
you're inside the slime.
kill us better.
Thank you for reminding me.
I might regret it.
We're fair
That's
players.
another 8 points of bludgeoning damage and
Well,
4 points of acid damage.
I drop to 0. I have Strength of the Grave, which means I have a very low charisma check that I have to succeed on, which I do. But then the second damage would put me to 0 anyway.
Oh, it's the same. It's in the same attack. It's not two separate attacks.
Okay. Oh, okay. So in that case, I am still alive at 1 HP.
Okay, whose turn is it now? Is it my turn or?
This is bad.
Wait, quick question. From all the damage that the slime took, is he outside of the slime? He just has to pull himself up.
No, he's currently inside the slime.
But you said it's a medium creature, so he's not that far from being out of it.
No. The DC is much lower to escape this one. And it also, this slime appears to be, the one that he's inside of is also looking like it's doing not good at all. Barely able to hold its form together.
Okay. Well, in that case, I suppose I'm desperately trying to hack my way out of it.
Yeah. Roll an attack with disadvantage? Nah.
Oh, I'm just trying to break my way out of it with.
Okay, strength. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I get a 17, surprisingly enough.
Nice. You're able to just gasping for breath, emerging from the slime. You're able to get out of it.
Okay, I will run away, hide behind a stalagmite if I can.
All right. You hide behind a stalagmite.
Would running away here provoke attacks of opportunity, or?
Yeah, it would.
You muted yourself.
You're muted.
I will misty step away.
Okay.
Then, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll hide behind a rock and cower.
You
In fear.
gasping, you're able to finally speak as you inhale as much as you can, spitting out this putrid like slime from your mouth. You immediately speak the words for Misty Step and vanish into a puff of shadow, reappearing behind a rock.
Is he close to me?
You can see him just dripping with acid. His skin is just seared with horrible acid burns.
Yeah.
Is it my
I
turn
will,
yet, or
I'll actually just run further away for another 30 feet and then end my turn.
Okay. You are able to get to the back of the cavern about 40 feet from where you were, where the jelly is.
Let's never
Okay.
do that again.
I was about to heal him, but I guess not.
Gerald, it's your turn.
So the slime itself, it's still in the dagger, right? Like cloud of
Yes,
daggers.
it is.
It is a concentration, so. The downside of not having an attack abilities.
Just kill it.
Yeah, I have. The only thing I can do is shoot it with a crossbow bolt.
The one in the cloud?
The one that seems actually, which seems more dabblaged.
The one on that Franz cut off of the main slime has not yet been damaged. But the other one is in this. It looks to be on his last legs in this swirling vortex of daggers.
I don't know if piercing
On its last legs?
On its last everything.
Would piercing even do anything? I don't know. Fuck it. It's better to try than yeah, because I genuinely only have piercing weapons. So I attack with the crossbow.
All right, onto the which one?
The one that seems damaged.
All right,
I rolled horribly. I got a 10.
that hits.
Okay, never mind. I rolled well enough. And I do 7 points of piercing.
You kill it as this last
Oh,
arrow
thank God.
pierces into the slime. It just like kind of fades down into this putrid fluid that just loses its collective form, oozing away as if it were molasses.
All right.
Is that your turn?
I want to. The slime that France is fighting. Is it in the full open right now?
From you could angle yourself to get it in with no cover, but from right here at this specific angle, it would have.
No, I'm not going to attack because. How do you do flanking? Because I know in the rule book it gives you a +2 to hit.
Really? I thought it was advantage. I hate
No,
advantage for flanking. Actually, I don't have any official homebrew rules on flanking, but I would rule +2 to hit. That seems completely reasonable to me.
Yeah, I think that is actually something that a D&D creator posted. I might be wrong, but +2.
I think it's +2 in like Pathfinder and stuff. I think in
Oh,
D&D it's
okay.
advantage, but I think that's ridiculously overpowered. So +2 makes way more
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah. So would that work, giving him an advantage if I tried to distract the slime by running up behind it?
Good. I mean, you just used your action to attack.
I'm literally just moving up behind it.
You could move up behind it. Yeah, you could move behind it. That would give him flanking.
Yeah. Like, yeah, just to be like a distraction, honestly, more than anything.
Okay. You move up behind this jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that is all I can do.
All right. Franz is going to attack this one again. With a definite hit. He's going to, this time, instead of his sword, he is going to just bash it with his shield, trying to crush it into the ground, afraid to cleave into him for 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, God.
The sword saint.
Sword Saint Franz, kind of just like pushing at it with his shield, trying to keep it off of him.
Shields don't seem to do much for him, do they?
They increase his armor class.
That is true.
Jelly's turn is going to attempt to attack Franz, still focused on it.
What? No, don't attack Franz.
Missing once again.
Oh, thank God.
Jadir,
I'm going to kill it with fire and
do
hit it with a fireball. Getting a 1.
that's a miss. Yeah, your firebolt slams into one of the stalactites on the ceiling, loosening it from its position in this enormous blast as you just completely the kickback of the fire blast makes you shoot it up into the ceiling, and it comes down and crashes into the rotting wooden platform next to you.
I'm imagining Jadir just misty steps, turns immediately around, and like slips on the slime.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
You're just very cartoon. It's like a banana peel.
That is it for me.
All right,
Everybody knows acid is extremely slippery.
Gerald.
I have a bonus action, right?
You do. It's your turn, so you have a bonus action.
So, as a spellcaster, I know that if I am not a proficient, if I'm not proficient with shields, I can't do spell casting. But since I'm not going to be casting spells, can I use a bonus action to pull up a shield and repair, or would that be too much?
You can pull out a shield and repair. Rapier.
Rapier. And yeah, basically putting my armor class up to 17, and I am going to use my action to poke it with the sword.
All right.
And that is a 10.
That hits.
And that will do 5 points of piercing damage.
You pierce into the jelly, further destabilizing its form. Franz is going to shield bash again, hitting for another 2 damage. Two of you slowly working it down. The ooze is going to lash out as this arm of slime emerges from directly behind, trying to reach out and envelop your face in this ball of slime.
How rude. How rude.
That is a 21 to hit.
That does it.
For
Do I get a save?
Nope.
Wait, is this a grapple?
No, it's not a grapple.
Okay, I was wondering if this was going to be a grapple.
11
It was.
points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of acid damage.
So, 11 and 4, so 15.
Yeah, that thing hurts. Don't let it swallow you.
I just get bonked in the face by a slime. But yeah, alright, is that its turn?
That is.
Alright.
Jadir.
Let's see if I can redeem myself. I'm going to repeat my my firebolt from a long distance away, getting a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Rolling a miserable 8 fire damage.
You, holding the fire blast in your hand, you blast it out, streaking through the air, slamming into the jelly itself, burning it from the inside out. It seems to it smells like burning rubber as the entire scent begins to envelop the entire cavern, as you can see the blackness of the inside, its charred, oozy form. It looks to be barely alive.
I guess it's my turn then?
Yes.
I will stabbity stab stab stab. For 11 with a flanking 13.
13. Yeah, that hits.
Hey! I rolled almost max damage. I rolled 7, and that's plus 3, so that's a 10.
10. Yeah, you kill it, and with one final pierce, as you drive the rapier into the slime, it too fades into a coagulated puddle.
Ew. I kind of want to immediately look up from where the slime came from and see if there's any
You see
more.
10 more. It's like when you think it's a boss fight, but it's really a regular enemy. I am going to... Why did I say I am going to? It's, yeah, there's nothing else here.
Well, that definitely hurt. Ow, my face, but I feel like someone had it a bit worse. How are you feeling? And he kind of goes, how are you feeling back there?
It's just covered in ooze. You see like this once upon a time fine suit. Already
this
dirty and
poor
disgusting.
suit. The suit has been mostly eaten. Just I like to think that it's like when girls get attacked in anime and it destroys
Oh
all
my
of their
God,
clothes except all the parts that keep it PG-13.
It's like just take out this rag, my spine silken neck, and just.
Jadea, you're looking
And
quite
I'm
PG-13.
Yes, I'm patting the filth off my wig, and then just realizing it's useless. Just take it off and just like toss it near stalagmite. Just
Jadea,
squishes into it.
Jadea, I just want to point out, well, are you feeling breezy by any chance? You are missing a lot of clothing. It's just-
Like a cover girl.
Well, not saying that you can't work with it. He kind of looks at friends, like...
That could have happened to me. Ah!
I'll have you know, I'm very fucked up. Please help.
You look so horrible. Here, I have a medicine kit. I brought this first aid kit with me. And he's going to attempt to bandage you up. He's going to roll medicine.
Rolls nat 1, kills him.
He rolls a 9.
Oh, no.
He patches you up to some degree. He cleans off the acid. Your flesh burns significantly less by the time he's done with you. Just keep yourself covered while I get close.
Thank you.
Look, so we might most likely be in this dungeon cavern for a while. I guess this counts as a dungeon? Kind of looks at, the surrounding, the
I
big
don't really
drop.
care what you call it. I'm on 1 HP.
I believe this is what adventurers would call a dungeon.
Are we part of the cool kids now?
I feel so excited. We've done so well so far.
Okay, well, before he murders us with his glares, I think that I should, and I kind of just walk over and do cure wounds on our dear Slimesicle. I like how he shook his
Please.
hand in real life.
No, I'm just cleaning my mouse pad of filth. But yeah.
So let's hope that you actually get a decent one. So that is a 2d8 plus 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4. 8 plus 4. Come on, lucky roll. Not a lucky roll. 2 and a 2 and a 4, so you heal by an 8.
That's slightly above
All right,
average, actually.
We'll take an hour to short rest.
All right, you guys take a short rest, managing to recover a little bit in the front area of this part of the cavern.
I would actually like to use one feat that I have not used for a very, very long time. Well, never, actually.
Oh, you have the... Nice!
Because we're actually in a dungeon.
Yeah, this feat is super nice for realistic dungeon crawls.
Yeah. So, basically, I just kind of want to talk about, well, like, look on the bright side. We're actually doing something that many other people would never do in their life. The things that we're about to see will be something that no one has probably ever seen before.
Exactly. We'll be legends.
That might actually happen. You never know what we'll find.
The legends of the Mushroom Slayer, led by the mighty Weasel Thighs.
It's the wrong,
Kind of
it's the wrong Francesca leaking again. I think the only way that this could possibly help Jadir is that, like, you're so freaking annoying that it distracts him enough.
Wait, Franz then. Franz or Gerald.
You guys did have a
Gerald.
conversation about Weasel Thighs, so at some point.
Oh, yeah. We did. I forgot.
But yeah. Now I do genuinely try to pep him a bit up, like saying we're almost there, like it won't be too long until we get this thing
there.
Like
Any minute now.
Will, like basically like reminding him that we're so close to getting that thing out of him.
That's true. You've
Okay.
come a long way.
Yeah. Like actually being thoughtful. He's still a bit annoyed, but he's more caring about everybody getting out alive.
All right.
So by that everybody gets after the short rest. Also, I also do Song of Rest. So even more healing. So inspiring leader.
How much?
So you spend 5. You can see you and understand you. Each creature gain a temporary hit points equal to your level and your charisma modifier. So that would be
friends as
6
well.
plus 4, so 10 temporary hit points. And with a Song of Rest, a friendly creature gains 1d6 additional healing at the end of a short rest.
Nice.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
But that's okay. I have hit dice, and those went okay.
I think I have
So,
6 hit dice because
how
I've not
many-
used mine at all.
How many temporary hit points?
10. So what is my hit dice again as a bard? 1d8, right?
That should be a D8.
Yeah, I think it is a d8. This side doesn't tell me that, annoyingly enough.
it's a D8.
It is a d8, yeah. It is a d8. So 1d8.
Well, I wasted 2/3 of my hit dice.
Yeah. And then plus con modifier, isn't it, with the hit dice? So that's
That is correct.
1. So I'm using 1, and I'm only getting I get 6 health back, and then I roll a 1d6. 1d6. And 5. So I get 11 hit points back.
Well, I rolled 4 of them, and yeah, I'm almost back up to full.
I
You
rolled
look to
1
be
hit
doing
die.
much better, Jadir.
I'm still wearing
Here,
like a torn
take
suit.
take these clothes. I brought spare. They might not
I'm
fit you very
assuming
well.
I'm just imagining you had him armor bikini, then he turns around. What? We need the sex appeal for the show.
Luckily, Jadir carries multiple sets of suits, and we'll mark one off.
I like how Jadir wastes more money on suits, and he actually like throws away that money because he keeps bringing that money in, like really nice suits into fights.
Yeah, it's style, fashion
It's
souls.
it's well over 200 gold at this point over this campaign.
Oh my god! Oh no!
They're expensive.
I know. You should perhaps have adventuring clothes or combat.
Nonsense.
I do. I have ragged clothing that I never wear unless I'm forced to.
Okay, so from here, there's the
Yeah.
vertical fissure in to the left or to the right, off by the cave where the jelly attacked you guys. The path continues forward, as well as another branching path off to the left, further off.
Okay. I wanted to take a look down the fissure.
Okay, you take a peek down into the fissure, and you can see a faint glow from what appears to be a fungal bioluminescence. You you hear what sounds to be like a, and then like clicking from further beyond. The fissure is about 30 feet long. It's just narrow enough to squeeze through if you suck your gut in. Not that Jadir has one. He's a skinny man.
Is it like I'm having sort of problems picturing it. So is it like does it have a floor that I can walk on?
Okay.
Or...
So it's just as if the walls came together very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a crack.
A very tight hallway crevice.
Okay. Well, I'm slightly curious about the glow, and I'll go ahead and inch forward.
All right, you begin to inch forward. What are you doing, Gerald? Are you just waiting for him?
I'm actually, because I'm really worried that he's going to get himself killed, gonna do Bardic Inspiration and just kind of like be there.
Are you going to inspire him?
Like, yeah, just... It's not going to be anything special, I think, in this situation, as he does, like... Jadir just almost died to a yellow cube.
You play intense violin,
No!
like the bitonal two notes like right next to each other, like the most horrible spooky sound, like.
No, it's a song.
Oh,
You
wonderful!
Almost died to slime. The worst thing to die to.
You
like,
almost got killed by a CR2 monster at level 6.
I'm so insulted.
You are inspired by your rage at his insolence.
No, I'm not doing that. It just few inspiring words, like just like reminding him, like we're gonna work this out together and stuff like that.
Remember,
we're gonna get
you can do it.
Pretty much.
Wonderful.
Just do it.
Do I see anything up ahead?
Okay. Creeping through, easing your way through this passage, the rocks kind of scraping along your back and your chest as you shimmy your way through the passage. Suddenly, as you're walking, what you kind of like, there's like a small rock in the middle that you kind of just subconsciously end up kicking forward a little bit. About halfway through, suddenly the clicking stops and it's dead silent.
So is the crevice like twisting and turning? Can I see towards like
it's
the very end?
It's a straight crevice. You don't see anything inside other than it becomes clearer to you as you go further, kind of with your head turned, looking down the crevice. The glowing is definitely coming from bioluminescent mushrooms, and now that you're further along, you can see what looks to be one pulsating, veiny, yellow, oozy sac on the wall, like some sort of tumor.
Can I mage hand it and try to squeeze it and pick it from the wall?
From this far away, no. Mage hand is 30 feet?
Yes, I believe so.
I thought it was 60 feet. No.
It is 30 feet.
Yeah, so you're not quite close enough.
Okay. Then I will keep heading towards it.
Okay.
Maybe this is the thing that we're looking for. I don't know.
Okay, so you're about 10 or like between 5 to 10 feet away from the exit of the fissure when suddenly a horrible bug-like abomination with an armored exoskeleton and enormous pincers on its face you see like looking out of it, it's like walking forward and it slams the body of this human onto the ground before tearing it open to devour the person, the man just screaming out in pain.
Has it seen me?
It has not seen you.
Then I will get the fuck away. Just like immediately turn around, start walking
also now
backwards.
see that you're far enough forward. The entire room appears to be covered in glowing fungus and these large, veiny, pulsing yellow sacs. They're like spaced out pretty evenly across the room.
I'll subtle spell message Gerald. There's glowing mushrooms here and some strange creature.
I'll just respond with, isn't there a limit to how many things I can respond with?
You guys don't. It's a cantrip. You guys can talk. There's no
Well,
imminent
no, because-
pressures.
Well, he has to subtle spell it every time.
Subtle spell message. Oh yes, but you can.
He's hiding it.
Right. You can respond with like, as long as it's nothing really long.
I will tell you the story of my life. No. No. I'll just ask very quickly, is the situation currently hostile, and have you found something? And the last one is, are you safe?
You would have heard screaming and pounding.
Yeah, that's okay. Then the first question would be, I thought he was far away where I wouldn't hear it. So then the first question is, are you okay? Second question is, what the fuck is going on? And third question is, are you able to get out?
Then I'll repeat subtle spell again. Is this supposed to glow?
Do I know? Is it supposed to glow?
Not exactly done yet. So, is this supposed to glow? Very strong bug. I'm fine.
There are species of glowing mushroom that excrete this compound.
We're gonna have to fight a big ol' fucking bug.
But not all glowing mushrooms have butyrics in it.
We're gonna have to fight a big old fucking bug. This is gonna be bad.
There's other places you can go.
I will respond with, there's a possibility of it being what we need. Glad you are okay. Do you want to kill it? If not, come back up.
I don't want to keep using fucking sorcery points on this.
Yeah, that's why I ended it with, if not, come back up. So he's just gonna wait a few minutes.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Then after like 2, because it only took him a couple of minutes getting down there, right?
I mean, it's horizontal from you. He's not like descending into a fissure. You can see him.
Okay. Oh, that would have changed everything. Then do I see the bug and everything?
You couldn't have talked to him without being loud from this position.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. Then
You
if I
can't
saw...
you can't see the bug from this position though.
Okay.
I'm imagining that my skinny butt is still enough to conceal it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, signal Franz to come.
He
And
looks
I'm-
at you, he's like, "What's going
We're
on?"
going bug hunting, and this is a large one.
I don't like bugs.
Well, too bad. It seems like that's what we're going to have to kill. And
Okay,
from the sound
we're
of-
adventurers. That's what adventurers do.
And just a heads up, it did just kill, I think, a hunter or something like that.
Fuck. So, pardon my language.
No worries. Let's go and actually... And, I just start heading up.
All right, are you going to the crack as well?
Yeah. Also, I'm going to, since he is still inspired, and this is within, I'm going to use another inspiration on Franz. I'd like to give him, come on, you're Sword Saint Franz.
Sword
A
Saint
bug like
friends.
this.
Sword Saint
Yeah.
friends. Sword Saint. Charge! Just kidding.
No. I swear to God, if all our NPCs are like this, it's just how are people adventurers at all in this world?
I mean, he's not an actual adventurer.
I know, but it's
He's
if...
he is the apex of training and no experience.
Nah, fair enough. But
He's a Boy Scout. I mean, come on.
well, still, anyways, so silently we come to where Jadir is.
Okay.
So yeah, we're all next to Jadir right now, and I guess we all see this bug
Yes, you can.
chomping.
Well, actually, you have to be single file in here. How tall are you, and how tall is Jadir? I know Franz is tall enough to see over both of your heads.
I think Gerald is the
I-
shortest.
I think Jadir would be close to 6 foot, probably. He's a tall, skinny boy.
You guys don't have official heights for your characters?
He does. I actually do. He is.
I don't.
Disgusting.
I do. He's 6 foot.
You don't know
Gerald
his
is.
blood type? I mean, come on.
Wait, you don't know? Mine is no. Gerald is 6 feet. 6 foot tall.
All right. You can look around his head just a little bit. You get a short glimpse of the bug.
We could say that Jadir is 6'3", 6'4", maybe. I feel like that's a good height for a tiefling.
That's pretty tall. How
That
tall are
is
you?
exceptionally tall.
Aren't tieflings tall, from what I remember? I think they're quite tall.
I think tieflings are normal. This is a bit.
no.
This is.
This
I think
is,
we're
splitting hairs, which I don't
overcomplicating
have.
things a little bit. That's right. Your hair got burned off.
Yes, I'm very bald at the moment. I left my toupee splattered on a...
I hate to
On a
do this
rock.
to you, but after the acid, does his dome shine even more?
That's true. All the acid burned your hair off. Yeah, melted your hair away. You're starting from square one again. Good point. All right, you see this bug just currently tearing into the flesh of this man, sucking his intestines out like pasta.
Nice. I would like to conjure Ace next to the bugger.
All
I was
right.
drinking water, you fucker. Slurping up the pasta. Doesn't
My
have a
God.
linguine mustache.
This is actually Mr. Cien's mom.
Fine
I like-
heritage.
Yeah.
I like how in these sessions it's either Jadir disappointed at me, Finn disappointed in me, or me disappointed at Finn. There's no in between.
All right. So you guys are squeezing in through this crack. You conjure Ace, who just suddenly appears directly before this bug creature.
Okay. Are we gonna
Yeah.
roll initiative or?
We're gonna roll initiative. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give Ace a surprise round, but
Ace?
That's the dog. Have you, Gerald?
Oh, yeah. For a second there, I
Tisk,
thought you were
tisk.
talking about the hunter. It took me a second. I was like, Ace? I basically didn't hear that he was summoning the dog. I was like, oh.
Da-da.
Oh my god, I got a high initiative for
I
once.
got a 9.
I am 11 for myself and 13 for Ace.
Guys, for the very first time, I have high initiative
Oh
of
my
18.
god. Oh, I gotta roll for Franz too. Franz rolls a 2.
I am the fastest for once, which is ironic because I have the highest dex.
Alright. Gerald, you're up first. A bit awkward because... Well, actually, that's not true. Ace gets a surprise attack.
All right. Well, Ace will try to take a bite, getting a low 9 to hit.
That does not hit. The ace leaps forward, his shadowy fangs trying to pierce through the armor of this bug's exoskeleton, which does absolutely nothing, as if he's biting directly into a rock, as the hound is unsuccessful.
Well, that is unfortunate, but that is it for Ace. I think he just will remain right next to the bug.
All right, Gerald.
So yeah, the bug is not being held in place or anything. Is it a large creature?
Yes,
Okay.
very much so.
My only attack that I can do from this point, because Jadir is in my way, right? So I'm not really able to shoot the bug.
Oh, you could make it with disadvantage.
Yeah, I'd rather just Vicious Mockery at that point. Basically Vicious
He does
Mockery.
have disadvantage on it because of Ace.
That's true. All right. That is a definite fail.
Hey, he takes... Oh my god, that's gonna be so much emotional damage. It's gonna cry like a bitch.
Oh my god.
He takes a total of 6 emotional damage.
6 emotional damage as the creature looks around trying to discern the source of this horrid insult before fixing its eyes on these 3 adventurers standing in the hall of this tiny crack all squeezed together. All right. Ace gets another shot.
Oh,
He will repeat his bite, getting an 11 to hit.
Also falling to the same fate as his first attack. But it is now your turn. You're in front of the group.
All right. Well, I will use Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. The bug's gonna have to make a strength save with disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
time to pile them debuffs.
Aw, man, that's a 16 and a 17, but he gets a plus 8 to strength saving throws, so that's a 24.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's a strong bug.
He breaks out of the grasp of this shadowy hand with ease.
Alright.
I will move and get into the room.
Alright, you emerge from the crack and into the room.
Yeah, I kind of want to file out. I suppose what I'm going to do is get into melee range.
Yeah, so emerging into this room, it's a spherical shape. There's another exit from here that goes down. And from this room, you can see that the wall is just covered in these pulsating yellow sacks. The bug, the corpse of this man just completely eviscerated in front of you, just torn to pieces. The bug is angrily looking at all of you.
Mm-hmm. Is it Fran's turn then, after him?
After Jadir? No, it's the bug's turn. But you're in melee range now of the bug?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go flank that thing.
Okay.
Assuming we're all just going to take positions around it.
All right. It is going to whack Ace with its claws in its first attack. That rolling a natural 1, completely missing, and then trying to swipe again with a second one, getting a 26 to hit.
Is that with a disadvantage?
Are these all with disadvantage? These are melee attacks.
No, it saves. He's gonna be able to make those normally.
Yeah. So
Wait, what?
22nd with his second claw attack at Ace.
Yeah, easily.
All right. Ace takes
The next
7
attack
points of slashing damage as the claw rakes into its shadowy form. It's going to step forward and attempt to pierce into you with its mandibles, Jadir. That is an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Dealing 16 points of slashing damage as these giant mandibles pierce into your flesh, raking along your sides like saws coming into you.
Jesus.
I've got him where I want him.
All according to plan. No plan is the best plan. It's Franz's turn, who is currently blocked in the hallway by you, Gerald. He is going to attempt to climb over you vertically in...
Can I actually go prone to help him?
Yeah, sure. You'll need to... yeah.
I'll just willingly go prone.
Okay. You drop prone, and Franz is able to maneuver over you, just barely being able to get into the room with his movement speed, and running up to defend his comrade, slicing vertically up with his blade at the creature, trying to stop its mandibles from coming in for another strike. Getting a 19 to hit, slicing into its armor for another minimum damage. 3 damage.
No. Yikes. He is not lucky on those.
No, he's not.
Stay back, bug creature! These are my friends!
Alright, so... Whose turn is it now?
It is Gerald's turn.
Alright. Seeing that he's... Are they literally just surrounding the bug?
It looks, yeah, the bug is getting flanked by... Between
So it
Ace,
is hard for it...
Gerald, and...
Yeah, so,
It's hard for what?
so it is currently hard for it to move without getting attacked.
In certain directions, yes.
Alright. Then, since it is semi getting cornered, I am going to cast Cloud of Daggers on my last 3rd level spell slot because this thing needs to die. God, I hope that it actually goes well. And yeah, so there's now a Cloud of Daggers right on top of it.
Alright. Ace's turn. Are you still in the hall, by the way?
Yeah, I'm still prone. Actually, no, I'll stand up. So if it decides to try to go for me, it won't get an automatic advantage.
Okay.
Right. Well, Ace will attack with advantage,
Nice.
getting a 13 to hit.
That is a complete miss, as having been just scraped by this shadowy claw, Ace appears to be kind of out of it.
That's not good. He'll end his turn there.
Jadir, you are staring this enormous bug down in the face.
Okay. I will firebolt it Melee range, it's going to be a disadvantage. Also a 13.
13 is a miss as the
Yeah.
fire bolt collides harmlessly into the bug's armor.
Okay. Now that people are in melee range, I suppose I'll remain where I'm at for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bug is going to make the bug is going to use the he's gonna attack Franchester, who just struck him down, landing a 25 to hit for the first claw. A critical hit for the second claw.
On who?
That's not good for Franchester.
Franchester.
He does have that temporary hit points, though.
He does, which is good. He's gonna need them. So the first claw does... Jesus Christ. Why can't these rolls be reversed? That's 12 points of slashing damage from the first claw. The critical claw... That's better. Does 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so the temporary hit points at least protected
So
him.
that's gonna do 12 for the first, 9 for the second. So 21 points from the claw, from the first and second claws.
So he takes 11 to his hit points.
And then he is going to attempt to scrape him open again with his mandibles.
Wait, this thing has triple attack?
It does.
Jeez.
Oh my god! Okay, I rolled a 17, a natural 20, and an 18 for my attacks.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's another
Nice.
hit on Franchester.
That's, poor Franchester, man.
yeah.
For 16 points of slashing damage again, as he just gets completely just slicing into him. He tries to hold the creature back with his shield, but just gets completely slashed open, bleeding out of everywhere. He's crying out as the pressure and force of this encounter is beginning to get at him, and he's realizing that adventuring is really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the case.
We almost forgot. The bug does take a lot of damage right now because it is its turn.
That is true. Roll
Actually,
damage.
wasn't Gerald never got his turn?
That's not true.
Hey,
You cast a
I
cloud
know.
dagger.
Oh yeah, for some reason I feel like the bug's like after Gerald for some reason.
No. So roll damage for a cloud of daggers.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 14 points of damage.
14. Very nice. The daggers are slicing into this bug's armor.
Mm-hmm.
The bug is going to exit the cloud of daggers with its move action, and it is going to... So it is currently being flanked by the Hound and...
If it moves
Me
away,
and Franchester. I mean,
Yeah.
there's 3 of us, like, in melee range.
It is going to move off to the left, incurring attacks of opportunity from both Jadir and Ace, but exiting the cloud.
so it's
Ace
staying
finally lands a hit, hopefully, at a 23.
That's a hit.
Is it staying near France then?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 10 piercing damage. He'll also have to succeed on a DC 13 strength save or be knocked prone. Given that he has a +8, you know.
That's a 5 plus 8 is 13.
Okay, well, he succeeds.
What was the
Avoids
damage?
going,
11?
10 piercing.
10. Okay. Ace just leaps forward, clawing into its form, slashing its jaws, trying to break into the armor, landing the strike, breaking in, crunching into the armor, and tearing out a piece of bug flesh, which just starts, green bile just starts spilling down its side.
All right, where's the bug headed off to?
It's moving around to get behind Franchester. So it's still it's about 10 feet from the two of you guys.
Okay.
He just wanted to get out of the cloud of daggers.
Fair enough.
Keep in mind that both Franz and Gerald have an inspiration on them.
Okay, thank you
I'm
for
aware.
reminding me. It is Fran's turn, who is going to... Let's see, how does Franz react to this? Okay. Franz, under the immense pressure of this bug, just being slashed open, bleeding everywhere, he steels himself, adrenaline pumping through him, and he is going to charge forward in an attempt to leap onto the bug and climb up to its neck.
I was gonna heal him.
Good man.
I was gonna go heal him. Jesus.
He's feeling brave. He wants to protect his friends.
Brave.
He's gonna do an athletics. Let's see how. Oh, nice. So Franchester leaps onto the monster, climbing up onto its shoulders, preparing to strike directly at the back of its head, currently mounting the creature, which is about 10 feet tall.
Damn.
That's his turn, and he's like grabbing onto like these the growths, various growths on the back of the creature's head. It is Gerald, your turn.
First of all, the bug is like far away from the clouds now, right?
It's like 10 feet from the... No, he's directly adjacent to the tile that the daggers are in.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna go willingly into it, and I don't think anyone else can push it.
You don't get a sense that the bug will willingly walk into a cloud of daggers.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would. Then I'll just dispel it because it can still hit allies, so they can walk through it. Just so they don't get hit by cloud of daggers. We don't want to accidentally kill a teammate. Since he's on top of the bug, I can't use Cure Wounds. I was gonna run up behind him and heal him. God damn that!
NPC does what NPC does.
Why must he be so brave and cool?
He's definitely the coolest member of the party.
Definitely.
That's sad.
I'm gonna be.
Damn you, DMPC.
No, don't.
Let me show you guys how cool my DMPC is.
No, it's not damn him. It's keep going. You're saving us. So yeah, that is. I'm checking for healing here. I'm using healing word, by the way. Oh my god, that is another 2/2 and a 4. So that is an 8 healing towards our dear Franz.
All right.
Then I take the crossbow and I shoot the bug with my action.
All right.
Which is almost a natural 20. God damn it. It is a 19, so 25.
19. Yeah, that's a hit for sure.
But for only 6 points of piercing.
All right. 6 points of piercing damage. The arrow striking into a gap in the exoskeleton of this monster, sticking out, just roars at you. Its mandible shaking as it does.
I wish I could also vicious mock it, but
Ace is up.
Can I just flip it off? Can I flip it off?
You can always flip it off.
I'll flip
Alright,
it off.
well, Ace will hound him down and bite the bugger, attacking for 22.
22. Nice.
Yeah, dealing 8 points of piercing damage. And the DC 13 strength save is going to be repeated again.
All right. DC 13 strength. That is a 23.
Unsurprising. And that's gonna be it for Ace.
All right. Sorry, how much damage was for Ace?
It's 8 piercing.
8 piercing. All right, Ace leaps forward. The Umber, not Hulk, distracted.
Smooth.
Yeah, the dog jumps on him and bites into his armor. Jadir, it's your turn.
Is because he moved? Is he
You
now
need to make
away
a
from me?
charisma saving throw.
I mean,
You do.
Lovely. I get a 12, so I'll use my bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a D8 at the moment.
Yeah, D8, 1d8.
Okay. I get a 1.
Oh.
How many times?
Mind you, I have +7 to charisma saves.
That is so sad.
Man, too bad this is not a Call of Cthulhu. You would be rocking this otherwise. This was going to
Amazing.
be on fire.
All right, so as you look, getting ready to attack this creature, you meet its eyes, and as you do, you get lost in this strange pull that the creature has on your mind, and you kind of lose track of where you are and what you're doing, and everything seems to kind of fade as into the background as just a echoing noise. You roll a d8.
I get a 2. Yeah.
So on a 2, you, as the world fades around you, you just kind of lose track of everything and spend your entire turn just kind of staring off into nothing as everything seems to become suddenly unimportant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jadir's just busy staring off into the distance. Well,
Alright.
best of luck, all of you. I'm mentally pieced out.
Next up is the bug who, staring right at you, he is going to take one of his claws and simultaneously slash at you as well as Franchester, who is on his back.
Does it have reach?
Jadir's in melee, right?
I don't think he moved close.
Were you?
Did
No, you're not in melee.
He sort of moved away to get away from the cloud of daggers. I'm not
Yeah,
sure how he
yeah,
moved.
never
but,
mind.
I mean, technically,
He's
he could be
he's-
in melee range. I'm not sure.
He's gonna go after Ace.
he? Yeah, I kind of figured because
Okay.
that's why I asked if it did have reach.
Oh
or
my
not.
god! 17
What?
plus 8, that's a 25 to hit Ace.
Well, Ace has an AC of 14. Just
And a
higher than I
natural
do.
1 against Franchester.
Hey!
My DMPZ is so cool. Alright, Ace takes 8 points of damage, slashing damage, as the claw rakes him.
Oh,
And
well, he's about bloodied.
he goes to grab at Franchester to throw it off his back, just completely missing, unable to. He's like whipping his head randomly around, squealing out in rage, and is going to. Since you're out of melee range, he's gonna use his mandible attack on Ace as well. That is a 15 to hit.
Well, 15's gonna do it.
All right, Ace takes 16 points of slashing damage.
God.
As
Well, he's still here
still in
for
there.
now. Yeah.
as Ace just getting torn apart by this bug, shadows leaking out of him as his form slowly gets fainter and fainter as the ripping shadowy essence fades the lower he gets. It is Franz's turn, who is going to attempt to make an attack at the bug's vitals.
Not advantage. Bardic Inspiration. He has that still, right?
He will use his Bardic Inspiration. Well, can you use Bardic Inspiration after you see what you roll?
You can, but before
you know the outcome.
Yeah.
That's going to be difficult for me to do since I'm running both of them. But
Well, here's the thing. Generally, when it's a thing, like if you figured, oh, he would have used it there.
yeah.
NPC.
I think he probably would have used it anyways, just because he's in such a brave moment right now. This is like a big deal for him. All right, that's a 21. He's gonna use it anyway because I think that's just what he would do. He just feels so inspired right now. He's gonna completely waste it.
Oh god.
He rolls a 1 on the inspiration die anyway. But he's inspired to the point. He plunges this sword directly into the back of the neck, which comes forward, piercing through the neck of this bug as a spurt of blood, like coming out of a fire hydrant, suddenly begins to spray out of the creature's throat before calming down into a slow trickle. And
it does 3 damage.
he does. He does 5 points of slashing damage. The mad
amazing.
lad.
I'm sorry, but the scene plus the damage does not really fit. Also, technically, would the bug have a disadvantage as it's trying to attack something it cannot see? It can feel him, but
No, I wouldn't give the bug disadvantage for that. He missed anyways. He got a natural 1.
maybe covered.
And he got it, and Franz got advantage to hit. But it is your turn, Gerald.
Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to heal the mad lad on the giant ass bug. Oh my god, finally it's max! So he heals for 8 plus 4, he heals for 12 points of hit point.
12 points on Franz.
Also, then I'm going to use my movement, seeing that a certain someone is literally just staring in a daze.
Yeah, you see Jadir's just kind of staring off. He seems to have lost all interest in the entire course of events. As his Shadow Hound is being ripped to shreds, he's just kind of standing there, like, hollow-eyed.
I will immediately run towards him and slap him in the face.
All right, yeah, you can make another saving throw, being slapped in the face. See if you snap out.
Oh Lord, please, I get a 13.
13 for your charisma save. You slap Jadir across the face. Wake up! Jadir takes no response. He doesn't even really appear to register your presence.
It's a 12 and a 13 on my +7 charisma save.
Oh my god.
He seems a husk of himself.
Good God, my rolls for this evening.
This is insane. Like, if all of your rolls were in combat, like, somebody would probably die. Let's see. Is that your turn, Gerald?
Wait, I'm reading. There must be something I can do.
I mean, you used your action and your bonus action.
I know, but I'm just checking reactions. If I have it.
All right, well,
Uh,
slap's done.
In the meantime, while he's looking, Ace is up.
Let's he gets a 16 to attack.
That misses.
Does he get the flanking bonus from
From Franchester? Yes.
Yeah. Then it would be an 18.
That would hit.
That's 9 piercing damage.
9 piercing damage. As Ace rakes across his form once again, tearing some of the armor off of this bug's arm, which is now just like kind of wailing about. Ace putting in the work.
I know, right? That's still the same DC 13 save.
All right. DC 13 save. 6 plus 8 is 14.
One day.
You picked the wrong monster.
No. He's picked the right fight.
There is Jadir, you're up. Make a charisma save.
You got a 14. How?
What?
12, 13, 14.
What the hell? How is this even statistically possible? That
I
is.
have a +7.
All right, roll a
Jesus.
d8.
This is insane. I get a 3.
On a 3, you continue to do nothing.
Is he drooling or something?
No, he's just staring off.
Okay, so at least I won't think that he has some sort of a brain fungus.
It's the bug's turn. Who is going to attempt to crush Ace underfoot with these massive. Oh my god, I'm rolling so well for him too. That's a 22 to hit Ace.
Missed it by that much.
For 11 points of bludgeoning damage as the giant
Ace
foot
is
comes
on
down,
1.
crushing Ace under his foot. Ace barely alive. He is going to slash at the pinned form underneath his foot. Rolling a natural 1.
Hey!
Completely missing, his claw scraping across the floor, slicing into the fungal growth alongside, which just flies out in a burst of shrooms that just fly across the room. He, with his mandibles, he is going to move to finish off the squirming dog. That's that. I'm gonna do a reroll on that. It was kind of stuck on its side there. It's a 6 plus 8 is 14.
That's just enough.
Just enough as the mandibles sink in for a lethal blow as the dog on its last legs with the dissipates off into the shadow.
Well, we'll rip Ace.
You can summon him again, right? Like, he's not dead forever now, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's 3 sorcery points.
Yes. Okay. That's the bug's turn. Yeah, man. Ace tanked. Franz is going to strike once again, trying to slit open the bug's throat. Oh my god, that's a 1 and a 4. Entirely missing on his attacks, but still able to hold on to the back of the bug. It is Gerald's turn.
So, quick question. This bug is a large creature, right? So in all technicality, I could cast Cloud of Daggers and only hit the bug.
Is it 5 by 5 by 5?
It's just a 5 square.
Yeah,
Like
you
five-
could. Yeah, because he's a large creature, so you could.
I really want to wake him up though, so he doesn't have to. Actually, you know what? No, fuck it. Because I know I don't do that much damage. Meanwhile, the certain brain dead person, well, not brain dead, mushroom fungal person right now.
What?
So, because you're just staring like.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration.
he actually kind of looks high out of his mind.
I didn't know he was a high elf.
My God.
Oh my god.
Anyways, jokes aside, I'm gonna give him bardic inspiration, and I am just going to smack his face continuously.
Wait, you smack inspiration into him. You may make another charisma save.
This is my inspiration. Wake the fuck up!
I get a 10.
A 10? Are you
Yeah,
I'll
serious?
spend
Wait, what have your rolls been?
I have a +7, yes. They're awful.
So you rolled like
Use the
less
bardic
than
inspiration.
you rolled less than 8 4 times in a row.
Yes.
Wow.
I rolled the D8 and I got a 17 on the charisma save now, finally.
Nice. You.
Oh my god.
You are able to finally snap out of your daze, coming back to consciousness.
Cheeks slightly swollen.
Yeah.
I've just been slapping you for
Your
12.
cheeks kind of
I
hurt.
got a 5, a 6, a 7.
That I am so happy I decided to inspire him.
All right.
I know, right?
What are you doing?
I'm going to firebolt the thing. Getting a 25 to hit.
25. That's a definite hit.
Rolling very well. I get 18 fire damage on it.
Nice. You blast this you baseball chuck this blast of fire directly into the center of mass on this bug-like abomination, searing scorch marks across its chest, sizzling into its flesh. It looks to be on its last legs.
And right there. I missed something.
The bug is going to leap forward off the ground with Francesca still on its back and attempt to come down, slashing into you guys. One
Yeah,
at
I
Gerald and
figured.
one at Jadir.
I figured I've interfered too much for the bug to ignore me.
That's a 15 against Gerald.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? God damn it. Well, I can't say that I have a shield, so it hits.
And a 12 against Jadir.
Well, I'm going to cast shield because fuck that noise.
Yeah, man. Alright, Gerald, you take 8 points of slashing damage from the first claw.
It
And then
does not go through temporary hit points. I still have
nice.
2.
And the mandibles are gonna come down on you as well.
Oh, the bug has found out who's been healing.
That's now I'm getting the bad rolls. That's an 11 to hit.
That does not hit. Luckily.
As you're able to suddenly reacting to this monstrous creature approaching you, you're able to, as the claw slashes into you, kind of knocking you a bit out of the way of its mandibles as you kind of gracefully roll out of the way, as these mandibles come down between you and Jadir, kind of barely scraping by both of you. It is Franz's turn, who is going to attempt to cut this bug down once again. Oh my god. So with, 2 attacks with advantage, right? I rolled a 1 and a 4 on the first attack, and a 4 and a 4 on the second attack. So
Amazing.
Franz just being a brave, useless idiot right now. He's like, "Stand down, fiend!" Slashing into him, failing to miss all of the clear vitals that he has access to.
I am so happy that I am a support class right now. Because if not, we would have been so dead by now.
It is Gerald's turn.
So
I
it
have
is
no idea what you mean. We've been doing fine.
You've been doing
Well, it is within
great.
melee range right now, right?
What is your what? You're in melee range, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wait, that means...
Gerald, make a charisma saving throw.
Well, fuck you.
Amazing.
It's Gerald's turn. You can make a charisma saving throw. Well, fuck you.
You should be
17.
great at these.
I am actually 17. I rolled a 10.
17.
Yeah.
You feel this force trying to pull you away from yourself, but you manage to shake it off. You have a strong attachment to yourself and the people around you. Unshakable.
Why do I feel like a bug has suddenly decided I am the main target? I am scared. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is, God, I'm like trying to think. I can easily move. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to use my last bardic inspiration and do cast the Mantle of Inspiration, and I'm gonna pick all of us three.
Okay.
So all of us get around. Each of them gains. Increasing to 8 at 5th level. So each of us gets 8 temporary hit points to replace our older ones.
Which have been spent.
Mm-hmm. And we can immediately use our reactions to move if we want to, but I don't think many of us will. I will use my reaction to move. I will use my reaction to get behind the creature,
Okay.
like basically darting between
Yep.
its legs.
You do like a swift somersault parkour shot.
Swan
Can I
dive.
not do anything normally?
No, you can't actually. It's impossible.
Being a bard,
You are the
I-
floating
You're
butterfly.
the floating butterfly man.
I want to attack normally. No, you will do it in style.
You're railroaded into style.
You are
I am
railroaded
style.
into style and panache.
In this world, if there's a dictionary of fashion and style, it's just a picture of Gerald. But
Right.
anyways,
Well,
and I
do
will
your
use
thing.
and I will use the rapier to stab it in the back with while flanking it.
All right.
And of course, it finally happens. I roll a 14.
14 to hit.
No, +2, so that is
Oh.
16.
16. That's a miss.
Oh my god.
You go to stab it from behind, but it just the armor is too thick.
All right, I tried.
Jadir, you are standing directly before this behemoth, just bleeding bug fluids all over the place.
Also, do keep in mind, you do have your reaction to move out of the
He
melee
used
range.
shield.
I did use shield. I'm going
you
to
did.
step away, and then firebolt the creature.
Incurring an attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
Is that how Mantle of Inspiration works?
No, it's only that
It's
reaction.
Only that reaction. Okay. Attack of opportunity.
Yep.
That's a 23.
Ouch.
24. 9 points of slashing damage as it rakes at you with its claws before you manage to get away.
All right. Well, I'll head towards the crevice. But before I do, I will firebolt it, getting a 23 to hit
Nice. That's a definite hit.
for 12 fire damage.
12 fire damage. Though you conjure a fire blast in your hand, it fires forward. The searing beams flying through the air, connecting with the side of its head that Franchester is holding steady in place, ready to strike at another vital. And that completely penetrates into the side of its head,
Nice.
coming out the other side in a burst of bug interiors that just falling out the other side. This full cylindrical hole in its head. The creature falls to its knees, face first, into the ground, dead.
It just explodes like Men in Black. Entire hole blown into its head.
Who looks the worst out of us, by the way?
Probably Franchester.
I healed him actually quite a bit.
Franchester
Well-
is at full health. He looks
I healed him
all
to
good. Yeah,
full
he
health.
healed. He was healed. a lot.
I'm on 33 out of 46. You know, like I'm fine.
We're actually surprisingly fine on health. That
It's
temporary hit
mostly
point.
because of freaking Ace. I did have
Yeah.
to blow sorcery points on that.
Also, we do also thanks to the temporary hit points that did save us from the first couple of blows.
First couple of blows, yeah. I mean, I would be down without them.
Yeah.
So
It's
nobody's
18
really
temporary hit
injured.
points. Yeah.
So nobody's really injured right now.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna save my spell slots.
All
The
right.
very few that I have left.
You guys are in this room, like walls and floor covered in glowing fungus with these large pulsating yellow sacs on the wall.
Well, I hate to say it, but it is midnight.
It is midnight. we can
Yeah.
we can end here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the session.
You're welcome.
Even though I got acid burned, eaten, chewed, and then very distracted. My
Yeah.
God, can I roll above a 7?
You made it though. You're still alive.
And
Yeah.
also, you got the kill, and you did like huge amount of damage in the end.
That was all ace.
Ace OP.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I did 16, 6 emotional damage, and I think I shot it once.